Are you wondering what your favorite wacky nerds are up to? Search for Campaigns of the Plains on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and make sure to follow and like us to keep up with all our content and news. You might also find exclusive content for fans only. Remember to catch us on YouTube every Friday at noon for a new episode of Campaigns of the Plains.
Welcome to this week's episode of D&D. We find our band of adventurers trapped in a cave. Who would like to pick up, reminisce of what we did last week?
Got our asses kicked.
That you did.
That sounds right.
Yes.
Yeah. I recall fighting some multi-mouthed beastie.
That you did.
From a portal and a worm man.
That you did.
And I know Rowan was kind of in the middle of things.
Just with the worm man.
Yeah. And everyone was like firing away at these things except Chats, who was paralyzed from the get-go and turned out to be deaf for a little while.
Yeah?
You all did, actually.
Yeah. Everyone was deaf for a little while. But then I was permadeaf until Sapphire realized that she had magic.
Yeah.
It's not something that she uses a lot.
Yeah.
What is a magic?
What's a magic? We went back for our NPC companions, and
you skipped a little bit.
There was some stuff.
I wrote some things down. I don't know if y'all can read this.
I can't even read that, and I'm in person.
It gets back up. Oh, yeah.
It definitely got back up.
Yep.
The screamer definitely got back.
Why does it merge with each other?
It's chicken scratch, that's why. It's literally like a chicken had some ink and just went like this with their feet.
Look, if you're like... what I really appreciate about it is it's like someone actually in the moment, like, gotta try and like scribble down.
Furiously, yeah.
Can you read that?
What the actual fuck?
Like I said, it literally looks like someone walked on it as a chicken. Like a chicken just like...
Eric watched me write it, and I don't think that he knows what it says.
I remember thinking last week, I can't read that.
I know what it says. It gets back up. That's right. What the fuck if this is thing? If the is thing.
That makes sense.
Thigh, actually. But with a Y. Kill Worm Man. We don't die. We did not die.
Read further on in notes.
Some kind of safe hall. Safe? I don't know. Purple, gray robe mask. Oh, I got Chats a new mask and a new robe. And I got a new ring.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys found some booty back there.
It has a spell stored in it that I don't know.
Right.
And
we found a chest and it had a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
Chats is carrying a really beautiful ornate battle axe that none of us have noticed.
Told you about it.
He
I did tell everyone about it.
And some jewels. You found some jewels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I made a new friend and his name is Varric. And he almost killed all my friends and put them in cages.
Oh, yeah.
But, we had a good conversation.
Sure.
Oh, this is where Duke is no longer, like, the BBG now? Do
Yeah.
I get to not have that title?
I don't know,
Yeah.
it's debatable.
I mean...
What the fuck?
You could still be masterminding it from behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This could be your
Some
lieutenant.
shit. Fuck you, DM.
Hey, I can tell whatever story I want. You can choose to participate or not. Yes, so you guys did fight a conjured being from some other dimension of some sort that screamed at you guys via its many mouths. As well as the worm man, you guys found a lot of loot. You found a trap that you guys managed to evade and you got to that treasure chest, where you found a bunch of stuff in there. And then you guys continued on, found that your NPC friends were missing, Clifton and Evelyn.
Oh yeah, those guys are gone.
Yes.
I didn't write that down.
Yeah, and there were drag marks heading down the direction we hadn't checked.
Correct.
And we went down that path, and we got to a cavern and
We got our asses kicked.
we heard some sounds,
Mhm.
and Chance incorrectly thought that it was just more simple-minded beasties, and that if we were to just rush in on them, we could wipe them out and save our friends potentially.
Mhm.
Not so much.
Dude played the Uno card on us.
We got it.
The reversal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He might have
But-
even included a draw for it.
We are all currently still alive.
And in cages.
I'm not in a cage yet.
Correct.
Oh yeah, you're negotiating.
Might not be in a cage
Yeah,
because
you're-
I'm.
And Finnick is hiding somewhere.
Yeah, you're too big to be in a cage.
Yeah, I am giant size for the next 4 hours.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, because you drank the potion during the combat.
I
Yep.
did, yes.
Does that enlarge your weapon as well?
Oh yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it did or not, because I was like...
All of my equipment gets.
I just him holding
Like-
a
yeah,
teeny
just like-
tiny,
like a little toothpick?
popsicle stick or
Yeah.
toothpick and whacking
No,
somebody with
I
it.
looked it up and it says that that your stuff enlarges too. So.
Gotcha.
It's all proportional.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
So that your armor doesn't rip off you.
Hulk style.
Does anyone have any other things they wanted to add?
Nope, I'm just real nervous.
Shit, I didn't do my warm ups. Whirling.
Whirling.
Okay.
One good Ireland for the camera.
Yeah.
Which one is my camera? This one?
Nope,
That is
one.
that one.
That one?
Yep.
Whirling.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, so... you guys,
It's like, what the fuck is going on?
so you guys did find there were several other imprisoned beings in here. You didn't get quite a great look at them, but there are various degrees of starved individuals in said cages. Some of the various cages are in different sizes, so some are individual, some are more like just group cages of just people living in them.
They're all unconscious though, so they can't see any of these people.
Correct. So we will pick up with you and Varric. So you watch as your friends are being dragged back to a different room that you aren't.
Where are they going?
They'll be fine. Don't worry about them. And just a reminder, his voice is very like wispy.
No, sure, whatever.
But I can't keep that voice up. So that's what I'm going to tell you it sounds like.
Sure.
But he says, they'll be taken care of. Don't worry about it. So you see your friends being dragged back. Very single-mindedly, as Finnick sees them all being dragged in. And all of, like, both Chats and Duke are put in separate cages. Like single cages, and this thing tries to put the enlarged Rowan in a cage, and he doesn't fit, so he just leaves them out of said cage, just right in front of the open.
I can imagine that his head is like jammed in the cage,
Oh, yeah.
and then like
He
his
definitely-
arms are like this.
He definitely like tried. Again, this thing isn't smart, so he definitely tried various ways of getting this thing in, and at one point, the one with the large eye was trying to help the one with no skin push his lifeless body in, and it definitely was not going in, and so they eventually gave up.
Imagine them going back to the boss like.
Which is when you would see them coming back towards you to escort you back that way. Do you want to do anything while you're watching any of this go down?
Just watch.
Okay. I want all three of you to roll a d4 to see how long you guys are unconscious for.
2 hours.
3.
I'm gonna get fucking 4.
3.
Okay. That we'll deal with that in a bit. But he Varric escorts you back with the help of his 2 brutes back to this area, and there aren't like chairs or a table or anything back here. He just kind of continues to escort you back, and you again.
I don't go to the cage room.
You're going to the cage room.
Going to the cage room, okay.
But there, in this room, there isn't like tables or anything for you guys to sit and eat and drink tea at or anything.
Yeah, sure.
But you're standing at the precipice of that room, and you can kind of see this room doesn't have any light source of any kind, but you can see definitely various boxes that seem to be strewn about this room on the left and right hand side. As you walk in, you see this room kind of opens up. You can't see how far it goes, but a little bit to the side, you can definitely see the edge of where this room comes around and continues on. But on the other side of the room, you can barely make out what looks like wire frames of cages of various sizes. And you do see your very enlarged friend in front of one of the cages, as well as your two companions in separate cages. And then next to them, you do see several other figures. You can't quite make them out unless you want to get closer, of various sizes of bodies that seem to not be moving quite a lot. And he gestures to all the people in cages and says, "Yes, we've had quite the lot."
Yeah, you have quite the collection. Am I wrong in assuming that perhaps the were creatures have given you some of your wards?
He gives you a weird look and says, "Why would the were creatures help us?"
I don't know. I mean, they don't really like people. You know, get them out of the way. If they don't need them, why not give them to you? You're just gonna,
Why? I mean, the were creatures themselves would be great subjects as well.
That's true. May I ask, since you're gonna kill me eventually anyway, what,
He chuckles at that.
how do you plan on ending my life and suffering?
What life and suffering?
Oh my god.
He looks at you with one eyebrow raised and says,
Not you particularly, but, what's the plan? Am I going to be sacrificed to, a big monster? Are you just going to, stab me in the heart real quick? Or rip it out, and hold it above your head? Just, there's a lot of different ways to sacrifice somebody.
We're here in service of one of the old ones. The elder ones, I should say. We were told to find humanoids to be of use to them.
How many do you need?
We weren't given a limit. I mean, the more the merrier, of course. And he he escorts you closer to some of the cells. You can see a lot of the people that have been in cages already, not your companions, look very gaunt. Look very, they haven't been fed in a day or two.
Right.
They don't move much. They maybe get some water occasionally. And he gestures to them and says, "These are easier to break, as you can imagine."
Sure. How do you get them then? Just they stumble in here? I mean, it's a big cave system, so it's pretty easy to get lost in here.
We have our ways. And he, gestures to his friends, the big brutes, and whatnot, and he says, We like to take advantage of you simple people's customs.
Makes sense. Talking about simple people customs, there is a mountain that moves full of were creatures, and you actually took a couple of them. They were with us, and you probably noticed that they're not very smart. A whole mountain full of them. We're actually trying to get them off that mountain. That's kind of why we're here. I mean, that's not why we're here. I just are around me. We came to this area to clear the mountain of the were creatures. We don't need them. We can send them your way.
He looks at you inquisitively and, strokes an imaginary beard that he doesn't have, and says, "Yes, that is quite a good idea. Perhaps after we finish with this town, we'll move on to the mountain and have an even larger army."
See, now you're thinking. Why start with just finish with the town? There's a whole mountain full of people.
Sapphire, the architect of a genocide,
Yeah.
and awakening an old one.
That's not what her intention was. She was hoping he'd be like, "Yeah, help me get them people," but that's not what happened, so... Like I said, my friends and I, we were trying to get the were creatures off the mountain anyways, so we could help you. if we weren't in prison, I mean, I'm not in a cage yet, although I point to the one behind the big lug. Mm-hmm. I'll go in that one. But
you'd voluntarily be imprisoned?
She into that.
I assumed that you brought me in here because you planned on putting me in a cage anyway. I thought I might as well choose the suite. That one's at least doesn't got any other mates, you know. Well,
once your friend turns back, he'll go in there.
Yeah, I like him. Okay, I'll bunk with him.
Give me a persuasion check.
I mean, unless you have somewhere else you want to put me.
I mean,
we can have tea.
You can see several cages nearby that are of various sizes that are empty.
D&D Beyond. You said a what?
Persuasion.
Okay. I don't think my persuasion's very good. Let's see. 18!
So he looks at you with a inquisitive look, like, why would you want to be in with him? But he nonetheless says, very well, you can be put in with that one. And he gestures to the one that Rowan is going to be put in.
Thanks.
And he says something in a different language.
Whatever they speak, yeah, sure.
At this skinless man. And he walks over to you and, like, not gently at all, just like puts his hand right here on your neck and like starts to like guide you towards said.
Okay, friend, I can walk myself. I'm willing to go into the giant cave. You probably don't speak common though, do you, bud?
He doesn't respond to anything you say. He doesn't even like acknowledge.
I look back at I don't remember what his name is. Barrick, and I go, he's not very friendly.
I mean, he's a brute. What do you expect?
Well, that's fair. Okay.
So he gestures for you to get in the cage.
Yeah, I jump, climb over Rowan.
Yeah, yep.
Fucking tree trunk of a calf.
Yep, you're definitely gonna have to. But you managed to squeeze your way in there with the door still hanging open because you can't close it because Rowan's in there.
I sit down. I'm not going
anywhere. And he gestures to his big brute friends to go back to that room that they were in previously. So he is currently alone with you. And he says, they can't understand me anyway, but they're not of any use to me at the moment. They have other duties to tend to. And you can hear, coming from the other room, what sounds like some more jumbled I don't want to say text, jumbled speech that you can't understand. And you hear as something comes to life. Did you want to do anything as you're witnessing? Okay. I didn't know if you want to, like, investigate or anything. But so he says, he looks over you and says, yes, we've come to please our master. We are being told to gather some of you beings and send you along for manipulation of sorts. Perhaps as puppets or vessels or cannon fodder. Doesn't really matter. I just do as I'm told. And he does a deep bow as he says this. And then he gestures down to Rowan. Do you know when this is done?
Oh, I don't really understand what happened here. This is not something that he can normally do. So I think maybe he got stung by a bee or something.
It's an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
Maybe it's some kind of allergic reaction. I don't know. We found some pretty weird things down here, so maybe he just like ate something that he should. Like there's some mushrooms on the wall. He told me not to eat them, but I mean, like between you and me, Rowan is not super intelligent, so he might have consumed it anyway.
Are you intentionally trying to deceive him?
No, I'm not. I don't know. Like, she really doesn't know what he took. So, like, that's not obviously normal for him. So she doesn't know what happened.
Okay. I didn't know if at some point you had seen the potion.
No, she had no idea what he took.
I remember if you did.
So, if you have any antihistamines.
He looks at you very confused, like, what isn't...
Well, it's a concoction that you make with a few herbal remedies. My sister, she makes them all the time. My brother, he's allergic to bees.
He just stares at you like you said, like, the sky is falling or something like...
It's fine. He'll probably either die or recover in a few hours.
Well, make sure he joins you.
Of course.
And he will give the rest of you a glance to make sure you guys are breathing and suitable subjects. And then he will say, "Get comfortable. It might be a day or two."
One final question before you leave. We were led in here by Pat, Rowan's big form. His cousin? Was that you guys?
He looks at you, but you can definitely tell, he understands what you're saying, but he doesn't understand all of the pieces. Like this, the word cousin specifically is just a foreign concept to him.
Someone that we know let us in here and then disappeared, and we fell into a gesture around me. Is that you guys? Did you manipulate her in some way? Some really cool magic trickery? And if so, is she here in one of these cages? I didn't see her, but I also didn't look for her. I just know he cares about her. He would be upset if she died before he did.
Roll me persuasion.
Oh, that's 7.
He looks at you and grins and says, "Well, aren't you an inquisitive one?"
Yeah. You're always free to not answer.
And he ponders for a moment and says, "Maybe." He turns and walks away.
Nice to meet you!
So you can see he walks right past the door opening that leads to the previous room you guys were in. And as far as you know, you're currently alone in said room.
So they left me in this room, in a cell with the door open.
Yep.
With Rowan in front of me.
You get the intent that they're not really worried about you at this point. The way that they handled the situation and how you guys handled the situation, they're not really threatened at this point, you can probably guess.
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't be threatened of us either because they fucking stomped us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to do
anything?
I
reach out and I pat Rowan on his big leg.
Okay. Are you...
I'm gonna heal him.
Okay. I mean, they did not take any of your guys' stuff, so all of you have all of your equipment.
I mean, yeah, it depends if we fast forward 2 hours and I wake up. But
I will say it is coming up to the first hour mark, probably, but it...
24 health.
Okay.
I just pat you on the face. Rowan. Slap. Rowan!
I get up and thrash against the cage.
No! You're big. You're still very large.
Your arm is stuck in there for a second and you have to
No, stop picking out. You're gonna break your arm. It's just stuck in a weird position.
Who the fuck? What?
Just sit down. And because you're
I'm laying down right now.
Okay, good. Turn this way.
I try
Yep,
to
okay.
get
Nope,
out
don't.
of the...
No, you're stuck in the cage.
I'm not stuck in the cage. I'll get out.
No, you're... Hey, buddy. How you doing? We're in prison.
Are you... just a point of order. Are you being quiet at all about this conversation, or are you being...
Oh, no, I'm being quiet. Yeah, I'm being quiet. Just curious how loud you were being, but you can stage whisper. It's fine. How you feeling?
I got run over by a fucking horse.
Yeah, you kind of did. Except for the horse was a man with no flesh.
I think it was something with eyeballs.
No, there was a thing with an eyeball, but there was also a man with no flesh. I know, I met him. He was not nice.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was a thing with the eyeball.
Oh, that killed you, or knocked you unconscious. Yeah. Why
was I dead?
No, just unconscious. Why are you so big?
Well, I found a potion.
And then you just drank it? What if it would have killed you, Rowan? That's very irresponsible.
Could have been better than being jammed in the cell.
Well, you're stuck in the cell, and you've also now stuck me in the cell.
I don't think I'm stuck in the cell, and I
No, stop moving, stop. Shh, be quiet.
It definitely would make some noise as you, it would creak a bit as you start to finagle out of it.
I was told that I have to ask you to come in the cell with me when you get smaller. I don't know how long that's going to take, but just so you know, this is our cell now.
I don't fucking know.
Also, welcome to prison. They're going to sacrifice us to some god or something. I don't really know.
That doesn't sound good.
It doesn't. I don't know if it was a god. It was an elder being or some kind of dark, scary, mysterious entity. Look, I didn't really listen that much.
Right. So you talked to the man who beat us all senseless.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation.
Isn't that great?
He said your cousin might be here, but he isn't sure. He shrugged at me when I asked.
I look around. Can I see in any of the other cages?
Because of how big this room is, you can see like the outline of some of the cages. You can't quite make out all of the beings necessarily. You could definitely go investigate
a little bit from in front of the cage, please. Just scoot your body this way a little bit. And I squeeze like past you like awkwardly.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check as you are trying to squeeze through a small opening quietly.
19. Wait. 18.
Nice one to stealth.
No, I have a +9. I thought it was +10.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so you managed to pretty effortlessly, let me double check, I believe, get around without much effort. Yeah. And you don't hear any rustling or anything from the other room at the moment. You just do hear that whirring sound that you heard previously. It's still going. And more speech that you don't understand, but nothing, no movement or anything coming your way.
I walk over to Chats and smack him on the face a little bit. I reach my hand into the cage.
I will say, yeah, I'll say his cage is small enough that you can reach your arm and pat his head. Go ahead and roll your...
Okay, buddy, it's time to wake up, but you gotta be quiet for me. 7 health.
6.
So you immediately wake up from a cold slumber, and you feel a hand on your head.
It's very cool.
It is cool. And you definitely would feel the cold from the bars kind of emanating off, like before you even open your eyes.
Thank you. What happened?
We're in prison. We're going to be sacrificed to an elder god. Be very quiet.
This seems pretty normal.
Rowan's very big.
You definitely look over and see a large Rowan. But
is Duke somewhere nearby?
He's right next. He's in the cell right next.
I scoot over to Duke's cell and I do the same thing. I pat him on the face. Okay. But you gotta be real quiet, okay? Be quiet, Duke. When you wake up, don't scream.
He definitely does not hear that. Okay.
9 health.
So again, you feel a hand as you touch his scaly forehead, or nose, or whatever you want to touch on him. You boop his snoot. And you immediately feel a warm sensation on your nose as it kind of spreads across your entire body. And similarly, you feel the cold emanate from the bars around you. And you can hear probably some rustling of Chats getting up and the labored breathing of a enlarged Rowan before you even open your eyes.
What the fuck?
Good morning, Duke. How'd you sleep? Are you liking our stay at the
this
imprisoned
morning.
hotel? This is the hotel where they put you in cages and treat you like a prisoner. It costs extra, but it's quite a fun experience, don't you think?
That runs in the family, doesn't it?
What, sarcasm? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I thought you meant the dungeon thing.
Oh, no, I don't need to know what Mom's sexual fantasies
It's
were.
too late, you know now.
No, I am uncomfortable. Okay. I shouldn't have woken you up.
This is your fault, I thought. Maybe you shouldn't tell these kinds of stories. Anyway, what's going on?
Oh, we're gonna get sacrificed to an elder god.
Oh, again?
Again?
Oh, wait. That wasn't you.
Well,
I think I got hit really hard.
Wait. What?
this is backstory we haven't have time for.
Shut up, Chats. I need to know this.
What is going on? Okay, so...
You hear, like, moaning and groaning from this cage right next to you of people
Who
like,
is...
can't really move very well.
Oh, my new friend, his name is Varric.
Where's Finnick? I don't see him.
You don't see him anywhere. None of you do. You definitely would hear them say your name and be looking around for you.
I don't know because I haven't seen him since the fight.
So these are just like open air cages. You can just see through the bars in all directions.
Yep.
How many cages are kind of in this area?
As you look farther down, there's dozens. Like, some of them have beings in them, some of them don't. Some of them have multiple, like, they're various sizes. So some of them have, like, a huddle of people. Right. Some have single
How far away are we from where it opens up into the big cavern where we fought?
It's probably a good, 50, 60 feet on the other side of the room.
Okay.
And there's another room where they're, I say, be quiet, because they're just in the next room over talking.
I mean, you guys would all hear they're not
Can
quiet at all.
you make me see again?
Oh, that you still can. It lasts for 8 hours.
But I died.
It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
No.
It's
Okay.
not
It doesn't
concentration
matter.
anyway.
It's just
Cool.
on you.
Yeah.
It's just on you.
You are infected with
Never mind, I
dark
can
vision
see.
herpes.
It's just really dark in here.
Oh, by the way, no, the cure was. Oh, it was good.
Yeah.
How was the licorice? How did it work for you?
I don't know. I don't remember what the licorice
It
That was
gave
the
you. It was
haste.
haste.
Ah,
I've given it to Rowan
well,
before.
if I'm
and-
going to be entirely honest, part of me feels that might have been why I lost time.
Well, see, here's the thing, and it's very important that you know this, and I'm surprised Mother hadn't had this conversation with you, but if you take too many drugs, sometimes it has an effect on your system. So maybe no more than one licorice
Why are you
a day.
giving me drugs? I thought that was magic.
It was magic.
Where is... Okay, honestly though, where is Finnick actually?
I don't know.
I like how you're giving him an exit survey. Do you like this spell? Recommend this to another person.
Now that you've trialed my spell, I pull out a notebook. Now that you've trialed my
Did they
spell, do you
already
think
take
it would be
him?
No, I haven't seen Finnick since the fight. I thought that he was taken with you guys, but I haven't seen him. Maybe he left. I don't think that he'd leave us.
Well,
But
Last thing
maybe
I
he went to
saw,
go
I
get
wouldn't be
help.
surprised if
Rowan
he did.
I think maybe he went to go get help, if anything.
How would he get out of here?
I don't know. Maybe he can...
Did anyone actually see him fighting? He disappeared at some
I
point.
couldn't see anything. I just kept coming into range just enough to hit and then, bounce back out of view.
When the thing did the big teleporty thing, I literally could only see you.
I couldn't see any of you. Except for him, because he's 8 feet tall, currently.
Why is your door open?
Oh, Rowan's supposed to go in there with me when he gets small again, so they just told me to close the door when he's small.
They respect the honor system. That's good. Speaking of open cages...
Oh, they did ask me to stay in my cage. I go back to my cage and sit down.
Are you doing anything while she's
Rowan,
healing
you need
people?
to stay in front of the cage.
Trying to figure a way to at least pull my head out of this cage.
So I assume these cages have locks on them.
Definitely.
Are they outward facing, or is there a keyhole I can see?
There's a keyhole, but you can't see it. You'd have to peer around and try and do that.
Okay.
So if you want to potentially try and lockpick your way out of here, I will let you do it, but at disadvantage.
Okay.
I can help you with that if you like.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you are free, so you could open the cages if you wanted to.
I don't think that's a good idea.
What's that?
I don't think that's a good idea.
Gotta be shitting me right now.
No, I'm not shitting you right now because we are all very low on health. They almost murdered all of us within the span
If they're
of 12
fine
seconds.
with you being outside of your cage, what's wrong
That's
with the
because
rest of
they
us?
know if I try to escape, they can kill me. I'm
Well,
one
exactly.
person.
What does it matter if we're all out of our cages?
Fine. Give me
Yeah,
the
see?
lockpick.
Okay.
I think we should come up with a plan before we all get caught and get
Well, how
murdered.
about this for a plan? We will
Wait,
get out of here.
did you
and then
talk to
hide.
them?
Yeah. I had a nice conversation with Varric. He's very friendly and very informative. Sometimes if you talk to the enemy, they give you information. Isn't that strange?
No, it's not. But also, by the time I had shown up, everyone else was already in the process of getting to where
I mean,
we
he
are
was
now.
pretty willing to talk even after you guys all went and attacked him. I mean, I just put my bow away and was like, hey, can we just talk? And he was like, yeah, let's talk. And he walked me in here and
Bold
he showed me a
move.
cave.
Glad it worked out for you.
Yeah, I mean, if it didn't, I'd be dead, but I'd be dead if I
Yeah.
didn't try at all. So
That was the 1 out of 10 times that actually works.
well, at that point, I thought,
How's that lock going?
oh, well, I guess I could try. What's the roll that I need to roll for the lockpicking?
I believe it's sleight of hand, right?
Are you
Dexterity,
helping
but
me so that I can hit double
Yes.
get advantage, that would be super
Yes,
nice.
I will attempt to help you. I'll be giving you pointers like just one pin at a time.
Okay. Father Isaac has always told me that it is not nice to steal.
You're not proficient with
What are
lockpicking
you-
tools, correct?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't
it'd be
think
under
so.
your proficiencies if you are.
What are you
No.
stealing?
Well,
Stealing me right now.
Clearly chats right now.
No, you're not. Oh my god, you've got to think about this in different terms. You're
I-
releasing someone that doesn't just.
Duke, I really enjoy that I'm making you just have a conundrum here. I'm joking.
It doesn't feel like it.
Dragonborn don't have sense of humor.
We do.
Did he struggle with Mother too?
Oh, very much.
He doesn't get sarcasm, does he?
It irritated him to no end.
Your sarcasm is very different.
Oh, we're not the same person.
That's not. You know what? Never mind. Just.
Oh.
Snake eyes?
No, that's a 12.
So you're picking at this lock. Okay. You're picking at this lock, and you are trying to help her and also stay quiet. And you get a little frazzled with his instructions as he's telling you them upside down, which is confusing you. I will say that you unfortunately do not pick. I'm assuming you're trying to Chatz's lock first. So you don't break the pin or anything, but it hits like a snag, and you're like, this should be working, but I can't figure out why.
Chats, I'm not upside down. You're going to have to...
Okay. Just give me my tools back. And then I'm going to take those, and then I'm going to take out my vial of Roper digestive juices and try and pour it on the lock.
Okay, yeah. So you take this vial out, and you see it's still like bubbling and gurgling and shit. And it's still almost warm to the touch because you didn't get rid of it. Like you didn't kill it
It's been a couple hours.
but it's still still has a little bit of warmth to it.
Okay.
And you pour it on, and it definitely sizzles and starts to corrode the lock away. But you don't know necessarily if it just fucked it up or if it actually disengaged the lock necessarily. But it definitely looks like it did some sort of acid damage to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna gently start pushing on my door.
Give me a strength check.
Yes? I'm going to go over to Rowan while he's doing this.
Oh, that's a nat one, honey.
Yeah.
So you push on the cell door, and it definitely feels like what you did to the lock potentially could have weakened the lock, but it definitely feels kind of stuck.
I'm going to take out my crowbar, and I'm going to use that to try and get me a little leveraged and try again.
Okay.
It's going to make a lot of noise.
I see him take that crowbar out, and I'm like, oh boy.
I
go a little bit quicker at trying to contortionist my body out of this, I guess.
Out of the
Yes.
cell?
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. Like I'm putting the crowbar in there, but I'm going really slowly and trying not to make the metal creak too much.
As soon as you take out the crowbar and like put it on there, you definitely hear it like creak as it's just separating the door from its connection. And so you're not sure how much noise it's gonna make, regardless of how slow you do it.
Right. I guess maybe what I'm gonna try and do. What I'm gonna try and do, I think, is wiggle it back and forth to see if it'll just shimmy the lock just enough to undo it.
Rowan, buddy, do you need help getting unstuck from that cage?
So
I'm going to pull out a jar that I've been hanging on to for a long time.
Okay.
It's from a gland of a black dragon.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna try to soak the lock in this.
So it's I'm thinking like a square embedded in the door type of lock. So
Okay.
you can definitely pour. It's not like a padlock. So
okay.
It's definitely you can definitely pour it on this thing and potentially corrode some of it.
There would be
A hinge.
some sort of a gap. Maybe I can.
Yep.
pour it into?
Yeah, you definitely could.
Pour a little bit? Yeah, I will try and pour a little into that.
How do you plan on facilitating that? Do you have like a... Are you just going to take the jar and just pour it, or how are you going to try and do that?
Well... let's see. Well, it's in a bottle, so I think I'll just kind of... Because I can see... Can I see this side of the lock? Is there only on the outside that you can gain access to the lock, or is there like a part of it that's internal?
I mean, like, there is like a metal portion on the like that's facing towards you. So I mean, you could potentially like melt that metal that is preventing you from messing with the locking mechanism. If you would like to, that's definitely an idea. To try and get you out of here. What are you trying to do? Sorry.
So I had put my crowbar in, and I was wiggling him back and forth, hoping that it would just jimmy the lock enough that it would push the door open without making a lot of noise.
Okay, give me a stealth first of all. How do you?
Okay, so these are okay. Are they just bar cages? Like, can I very clearly like see on the outside and reach?
Oh yeah,
easily?
You can easily.
And I'm gonna just like try to pour a little bit on the lock on the outside of it.
Okay.
Make sure I get access to it.
I will say, similarly to his, it definitely does more, being as it's dragon venom of bile, right?
Yeah, so in a black dragon would be acid.
Yeah, so I would definitely say yours does significantly more damage to the lock, potentially to weaken it. So if you want to make a strength check to try and break out, you definitely can. But you definitely can see it's eroding portions of the lock. So you did 19
which would be 33 total.
For stealth. Okay.
Yes.
So you initially try and open it, and you're like, so you just gently, ever so gently, try and pry the door apart. And it definitely seems to be weakening. Go ahead and give me a strength check as you very, very quietly do this.
God dang it.
Oh, honey.
It's another natural one.
It is. So unfortunately, you like try and pry this apart, and it's just too hard. You feel a little too weakened from the combat. You're still like getting your composure back, and unfortunately, you're unable to do so.
I sit back in a huff.
As you did you want to try and strength check out?
Yes, and I'm going to give myself a little more leverage just to try and help make sure.
While they're doing this, I'll go sit back in my jail cell and pretend like I've done nothing wrong.
I'm going to just take my axe and like lodge it in behind the lock, because I'm assuming that's the weakest point now, and then try and pry with the axe.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a strength check, and then you all hear what sounds like a... Well, actually, let me...
16, by the way.
16.
What kind of check do you want me to make to try to dislodge myself?
Dex. Just straight Dex. You guys all hear like a whimper that you guys would know is Clifton's whimper, as like he seems to be stirring farther down, and as soon as you hear that, you hear some quick shuffling of feet, and right in front of you, you see ready to potentially help you get out of your cell. With your 16, I would say you easily roll me stealth as you... I'm assuming you're trying to be stealthy about this. Or are you just trying to brute force your way out?
Honestly, no. I'm just like, I just want this open. I don't give a shit if they hear.
Okay, so you definitely like brute force your way out. It definitely is very loud, but you do manage to open the cell. And as you do, you see this blur of fur. Because I'm assuming you haven't shifted back yet, or have you? Because you shifted in the previous battle, I believe.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
It's been almost an hour.
Oh, that's gone.
Okay. So you see just a blur of figure run past your cell as you see Finnick appear right in front of Chatz's door.
I get advantage when I use my crowbar.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
I'm imagining hearing Clifton.
Yeah, so that's a total of 7 on my strength check.
Okay, so if you would like to help facilitate that, go ahead. What were you doing with Clifton?
I'm imagining hearing Clifton apparently threw me into a panic to get out of this because I rolled a 19.
Oh yeah, you easily. So as you're trying to get into that cell with his arm stuck, he just effortlessly right past you, as if it was a giant opening. And are you heading?
I go right to Clifton.
Are you trying to be stealthy in any way?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I roll stealth? What'd you roll for strength?
Strength? Oh, strength isn't good.
Well, okay. Did you want to try and lockpick it, or are you going to try?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you do for sleight of hand?
It would be a 15 is all.
Okay. So, I will say with that 15 and the damage you already did, it seems like it's easier to break him out, and so you do manage to unlock that door. Are you being stealthy about opening the door at all?
I will. I won't even open it. I'll just pick it.
Just pick it. Okay.
And then I look at chat, and then I want it to just blend back into the shadows.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and give me another stealth check for that.
Be 18.
Okay, sounds good. Which would be higher than your passive. Mm-hmm. So it seems like Finnick just disappears into the dark. What was your stealth?
It's a natural 20, so 29.
Yeah, you're fine. I will say, Finnick, as you're picking this lock, you feel a whoosh, like a large whoosh right behind you.
Oh, we're just whooshing.
Yep, you're just whooshing right past each other. And you start you're just charging your way past. Are you looking at any of looking through the cages as you're running by?
I mean, passively, yeah.
So you would see several large, different sizes of cages. Again, lots of people that seem to be huddled in masses covered in blankets. You do see one cage that seems to be medium-sized with a single person in it, like a larger-sized creature. And then right next to that, you do see what looks like a bear and a humanoid rat person, as Clifton is now standing up on his hind legs, looking very disoriented, and immediately sees you and rushes at you. As you can see, his door is already unlocked, and both him and Evelyn seem to be starting to make their way out of this locked cell.
Since being the bigger person now, I pick Clifton up and I just give him a bear hug.
Oh yeah. So
I ship this so much.
So as you give him a giant bear hug, he lets out like a comforting, whimper, kind of nuzzly kind of thing. I'm not sure what a mama bear would do to a baby bear type of thing.
I think they call them trills when they kind of do the purr.
Yeah,
for a bear, I think they're called trills.
Sure.
It'd be definitely along those lines.
Hard.
Yeah. And Evelyn's like, "Thank you for letting us out. I don't know what happened." And Clifton's like, "They scared us bad, and then we were just here." And he looks very disoriented as well as Evelyn. But then you hear,
and I know for sure I didn't let them out, right?
Correct, you did not. It was the door was already wide open, it was definitely not locked or anything. So your door is open. You did make a loud, but so everyone seems to be out of their cages at the moment.
Hey, everyone. I walk up kind of quietly. I'm wandering around now.
Well, his stealth was very high.
Oh,
so you don't know exactly where he went.
But I can hear Clifton screaming.
You definitely, he wasn't screaming.
Not screaming. Trilling.
Yeah. Cooing type of thing.
Chuffing?
I think it's called chuffing.
That's with tigers and lions.
And I didn't see him.
And bears.
So I just got you two guys.
Okay.
Do you think that what Rowan's cousin said is true, and his uncle is here?
There are more cages, right?
Yeah, there's
Quite a few
several.
more cages.
Well,
I don't know where Rowan
look through
went,
them.
but maybe he's looking for his uncle.
It's kind of
Like
I
the
guess.
noise that Johnny makes when he's mad at me.
yeah.
We could look. Yes, we could also unleash all these prisoners and then create a distraction to get out of here.
I walked by all the cages as I came through here. Said hello, and asked how they were doing. I didn't do any of that. I'm just kidding. They all look very malnourished and tired. I don't know how much of a threat they'd really be.
You guys all hear what sounds like some movement coming from the other room. You're not sure exactly what it is. It just sounds like some more noises, some vocal sounds, and more of that whooshing. But it definitely sounds like something is heading in your general direction.
Yeah, we were really loud.
Duke was very loud.
They are well aware that we are here.
Yes, and they would like us to stay here, but we do not want to stay here.
There are
So where do you think we're
Let's
planning
stay
on
quiet
going?
while we're trying to get out of here.
How about this? And I cast Pass Without a Trace on everybody.
Okay.
Let's go hide.
So, as you are embracing Clifton, you feel like the open air that was right next to you is then filled with a presence as you look over and see Finnick right next to you.
I found your cousin. She's over here.
Like in the cell directly right next to where Clifton and Evelyn were.
I take him like a cat. Like if you just grab a cat under the arms, I just take him and walk him.
Oh yeah, Mr. Big.
Yeah.
He's my teddy bear
There's a
now.
lot of like.
Yep.
Evelyn following behind you guys.
Yeah.
So you guys are...
I'm gonna stealth out of my cage.
Okay, so you're doing Pass Without a Trace? Are you stealthing as well? It would just be you three, because they're...
It encompasses the people around me, I think.
What's the range on
30 feet. So
they would be outside of that 30 feet.
Until they come close to me, they don't get it. But it's okay.
I think Rowan
But you
smells.
designate people though.
I designate you three, and those guys can fuck off because they left us.
So Evelyn and Clifton will not be included then.
I would designate everybody, but unfortunately, I think they have to be in my radius when I cast a spell to designate people.
Why don't you look it up?
Yeah, I'll look.
I don't think so.
It's your
I think you
spell.
just designate
Yes.
people.
So you walk right over to this cell that's right next to it, and you see a sleeping being with the familiar red auburn hair. It looks very tattered.
Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you.
Yeah. Okay.
You
Maybe I
can't,
should wait to cast it until we're all together then.
you can't quite make out a lot of the details because it looks like they're covered with a large blanket of some sort. And they do appear to be breathing. But that's what you get at the moment. Because you guys being very stealthy, I will say you're not... It's not alerted to your presence currently.
So, yes. So you're not casting it right now.
No, but we should still stealth.
Okay, then I'm at 21.
Okay.
Instead of 30.
19.
Oh, 21.
Okay, how are you guys stealthing? Are you... Because the cages are all open, you can't really hide behind the cages. There are
You said that there's
lots of boxes and barrels and whatnot that seem to be used as storage that you may not know that Finnick hid in previously. You can definitely hide something of those. You can move farther back. That there is a much seems to be this is a fairly long corridor of stuff. So you can probably keep moving that way if you'd like. What would you like to? How would you like to?
We should do that. We should move back, and hide behind something.
Yes. I guess chats would probably, even though the cages are empty, still get behind the cages so that the bars are somewhat obscuring him as he moves, and then hopping between, boxes and barrels as they,
Okay, sounds good. So you guys are making your way farther, closer to these guys. Is that the idea? Farther into the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, are you keeping an eye out from the doorway? Because you're going to lose sight of the doorway soon.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on how far you guys go in, you won't, your dark vision won't see the doorway anymore. So, are you specifically trying to keep an eye out for something that might be coming? Or are you just, going?
I would probably be checking back occasionally, just see if we're being followed or not.
Okay. So as you guys make your way through the room, you would eventually quickly find these guys, depending if you want to alert them to your presence. It is up to you, but you would definitely run past these guys as you guys are making your way farther into the room. As you're looking back at the doorway, you do see the skinless man seems to be lumbering in this general direction. And He doesn't say anything. He seems to be like coming in your general direction, like towards where the cages are. But you don't necessarily know what he's looking for or what he's doing. He's just entering the room, and then you run out of what seems to be his sight.
Right.
Are you doing anything as these guys are standing next to a cell? It looks like a being is in it. What do you guys want to be doing while they're running?
Well,
Rosemary.
So as you say her name, you definitely hear her stirring, and and you see the blanket now fall off, and you see Rosemary, as you remember her, she definitely looks like she hasn't eaten in a couple days. She's still a beefy girl, so it's going to take a long time for her to look gaunt, but like you can definitely tell like she looks very hungry and very disoriented. But she immediately is like overjoyed by the fact that you're nearby, and she's like, "Where did you guys come from? What how did you find this place?"
You brought us here?
Oh, am I near there?
You would probably.
I know. I had the same realization. That was like,
You probably would run by as you see this figure talking to your friends that you potentially would recognize.
So
What are
I
you guys
actually
waiting for?
think that this has something to do with magic and trickery.
Oh, it's that bitch.
And you immediately recognize Rosemary, and she's like, "No, I didn't bring you here. I was captured and brought here.
When were you captured?
The big brute is coming this way, so we need to figure out what we're gonna do and move.
Then pick the lock on this door."
And I'll pick the lock really as fast as I've ever picked a lock
Okay.
before.
Roll me
Rosemary,
lockpicking with disadvantage because you're doing it quickly.
Is your
Of
father
course.
here?
How do you know about my? How did you know I'm looking for my father?
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Because he told us you were looking for...
How did? And she looks super confused.
Oh my god, we've never even interacted with the real Rosemary Rowan. Ever.
16.
Yeah, you managed to very quickly.
With a 2.
He rolled a 2 and he succeeded.
guys, really? Honestly,
Rosemary,
what the fuck?
have you ever met us?
No.
Have you ever met him?
Yes, I know my cousin.
Okay. Family reunion later.
And you immediately lockpick.
She was in the bar, yeah.
So
She was also in the house when these guys slept in it that night.
Slumps. I don't know what that means.
And then she got up early in the morning and left.
Rowan, you should check
Wait.
and see if your uncle's here.
We've had
I
a
don't think we
spy
have
this
time.
whole time.
Don't you want to find him?
I point to the skinless man that's lumbering this way.
Me.
You do notice that the skinless man doesn't seem to be coming farther down the room. It definitely seems to take note of the empty cells that are no longer there, and you can hear the footsteps receding into the other room.
Well, let's look for your uncle real quick then.
I set Clifton down.
And he looks a little like disappointed, but understand. He's like, "That was fun."
And
You
I'll
never
ask
get to be the
Rosemary,
little spoon.
Right? I never get to be
Can you walk? Are you hurt?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Not you, Clifton, buddy. Thank you.
Oh. That's what I thought you were talking to.
Smooth.
I pat him on top of the head.
And he enjoys that. I'm assuming you're talking to Rosemary.
Yeah.
She's like, you can see she's standing.
Give her a piece of your pumpkin.
That was, yeah.
Did the pumpkin get bigger too?
Oh my god, it would have.
Yeah, it
Was it
would.
the Great Pumpkin?
Yeah.
Looks like a
No?
gerbil
The
munching
great
on a
pumpkin.
seed.
Great pumpkin.
Okay,
Yeah, I got
thank
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
I got it.
Thank
She
you.
def-
I was just trying to imagine this giant brick of animal fat, meat, and fucking fruit.
The fiber one bar.
Right?
Yeah.
You definitely can see she's standing, but she's holding onto the bars. She's having trouble standing. So she probably can move. It would probably be at a slower pace. You're not quite sure.
Is she-
What's in the back of here? Has anybody been back that far? If you...
In the what?
Back.
I've been stuck behind your giant body in a
Did I
cell.
see anything? I had...
Depending on how you made it around the room, you could have potentially.
Yeah.
If you want to, you
Sure,
can.
yeah.
you would know that it does come to an end, probably a good, 50 feet or so to the south of where you guys are at. It didn't look like there was, an exit, necessarily. But you also didn't it was a cursory glance type of thing. So you can definitely do a more thorough investigation if you like. But from what you know, that's all you got.
I'm going to just very unceremoniously, pick her up. Just because I think she'll probably be a little slower.
Okay.
I'll pick her up and I'll
Yeah,
be like,
I'll-
maybe we should move to the back.
Yes. Very quickly.
Be quiet about it.
Yes.
Oh, now's a good time. Pass without a trace.
Okay, everyone.
All of my friends.
Everyone roll me stealth.
Everyone.
Doesn't Large give you disadvantage on
No.
dex or anything? Okay, good.
It gives me advantage on strength.
Yeah. I just didn't know because you were, lumbering around. But
Is it plus 10?
Yep.
Yeah.
28.
35.
25.
22.
What you got?
30.
30? Okay. So I'll roll for. Yeah, they were fine. So you guys seem to be pretty quiet as you guys start making your way past what looks like several empty cages, barrels, boxes, whatnot. You do make it to the end of this room. There are stalactites and stalagmites in this area, but it does come to an end of some end of the cavern.
We'll try to maybe mask ourselves as best we can behind these, just for a quick sit down.
We should check and see if there's an exit to this room.
I'm gonna pull up my wand of secrets, and I try and stand 30 feet from any walled surface and flick it.
How many charges do you have left on that thing?
I
Or is it full? I don't remember.
I think it's full. I don't think I've used it in a while.
Oh, okay. I don't remember.
Barovia, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck Barovia.
Alright, so yeah, I'm one charge down.
Okay, so you do use it, and it lights up, and you can see it scanning the walls of the nearby. And as you see it scanning, it definitely comes to a certain point in the wall where it just scans, and it just reveals, like a curtain, this opening that looks like a ramp up.
Yeah.
Alright, found our way out.
Can I fit in there?
It definitely does not look big enough for a large-sized person.
By the how
How long has
Jesus,
it been?
how long are you this?
I don't know.
Did you want to check for your uncle while we still have a
Oh boy.
Maybe you take my cousin, try to go up this ramp. Maybe some chats to...
Are you going to go back and look for your uncle?
Yeah.
I think you should go with him so you can pick the lock. Are
Um,
you good at picking locks? I don't know.
That was good chats, but I got a set.
so as you start making your way back through...
Wait.
Well, I take a smaller chunk out of one of my larger chunks of pemmican and I feed it to my cousin.
Never mind. I don't
Just
want
so she has something to eat.
Are you still holding her?
No,
No,
he gave it.
I'll set her down and...
Okay.
I can't carry you, but you can put your arm around me and we'll walk together.
So she...
'Cause,
How much of the pumpkin do you give her? Like a decent sized chunk?
Like, a chunk for a human her size, that would be...
A pemmican-sized chunk of pemmican.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So she immediately takes that and she starts inhaling it.
slow bites or you're gonna make yourself sick.
She does not listen to you
Right.
at
It's
all.
like in Cinderella where Gus eats that kernel of corn.
I
Yes.
was actually thinking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when they take the oatmeal cream pie off of the thing.
That's a good movie. Rick Moranis.
Yeah. Oh, he stopped acting.
He also
No,
got-
he's actually coming back
He's
for
coming
another
back.
movie.
He just
Didn't
got punched in
he
New
just
York.
got punched in New York, didn't
Oh,
he?
yeah.
Which is also a movie I would watch.
Yeah.
Punch in New York? I don't know what it's about.
I
but
will say, her name's Evelyn?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. Evelyn's the rat. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Rosemary.
As she's noisily eating this.
Pull out my canteen.
Yeah.
Drink too.
And she
Water.
downed the entire thing very quickly.
I thought her some mayonnaise.
You only do it
And
once a day.
as you hand her this food and the water, you guys start making your way back. And she says, exasperated, as she is trying to talk and drink at the same time. How did you know? How did you know I was looking for my dad?
Rowan told us. Well, Rowan was looking for his uncle, and we met you in town, but we're starting to realize that it wasn't you.
What are you like?
Magic.
You
Bad
have a
magic.
doppelganger.
You-
It happens more than you would think.
Yeah, bad magic. They were pretending to be
I don't
you.
like how that's true.
They
I
fooled.
can't argue
They
with
fooled
you.
us. Shame on us. They fooled us. They fooled Rowan, and Rowan brought you to us, not you, the doppelganger. You.
Poor lady just came through.
She
Just give her a
looks
rest.
so confused. I was looking.
Chat's the
Yes.
coin.
Oh, yeah. I sure hope someone didn't find those.
Like the doppelganger.
Yes.
She looks very confused.
Did
Rosemary.
I bury those in front of the doppelganger?
No, you guys buried those when she was in there.
But it was in her house.
Mhm.
Well,
Outside.
His house?
it was inside.
No, it's in a corner in her house.
Yes.
Because it's a dirt floor.
Which is really her father's house.
Yes.
Anyway, and she's like, I was trying to find, and then I got captured, and I don't, and she looks very disoriented.
It's okay.
How long ago were you captured?
You are looking for your uncle. You are not there.
Oh, I was waiting until, like...
Oh, I thought you left.
You guys
Are you
left to
guys
go.
actually-
Yeah, we're headed. We were gonna head up like the little hidden secret entrance. Well, he went to go look for his
Gotcha.
uncle.
Okay.
So we're having this conversation while going up the little
Gotcha,
ramp
gotcha.
thing.
So as you both are heading back, you do hear some more movement coming from the entryway that you guys came in. And which are you guys the higher perception, I believe? You do?
17.
Yeah. You see out of the corner of your eye what looks like a large barrel of some sort that seems to just be overflowing with stuff. Like it looks like it's almost like a trash pile of just items. But you see this before Finnick. So I will say you could be distracted by it potentially. But Finnick definitely would see it eventually. Depending if you want to tell him or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really what I'm looking for right at the moment, so I will let Finnick know. Looks like they have a place for maybe people's belongings. There might be something good in there, something useful against them.
Take it all. Lot bag.
Oh, it's only a 10.
For perception?
Oh, perception? Oh.
This isn't locked.
That would be an 8.
For perception? Okay, so he is telling you about this. Are you gesturing at all, or are you just saying there's stuff
What
over
are you
here?
looking for? It's right there.
You seem like to have a little difficulty seeing this large container. It is covered with a tarp of some sort, but like you can definitely see something is hanging out of it that looks unique. And so, are you heading towards the movement coming towards where people seem to be?
I'm sticking behind the barrels and stuff, but I'm still trying to keep an eye on the cages too.
Okay. So as you...
Make a perception.
Yep, go ahead and make a perception. Go ahead and give me an investigation, Eric.
16.
So,
can we explain how a large creature's ducking behind these barrels? Like, is there like a huge stack or something?
I mean, there are several stacks. It's also, you don't know necessarily what their dark vision is, so you don't know if you're outside their vision of range.
How big are you?
I'm a large-sized creature.
Oh, big.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm the size of a giant.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't.
Let me double check.
Well,
So you would see coming in the room as what was your investigation? 11. Okay. So you're digging through this barrel. We'll get to the loot stash in a second. You see the skinless man and the seer Varric, as you know him, come in this room, and they seem to be very quickly entering this room as they see several empty cages that seem to be in various stages of damage.
They left mine open. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Well, that one's open. The two that were
acid splashed.
yeah, destroyed. And you hear them talking in a different language and gesturing, like go back, go this way, type of thing. So you definitely know they are alerted to your presence as the skinless man heads back to the other room. and like is making loud noises, shouting to what sounds like. It definitely sounds like there's more bodies of like movement coming from the other room than just the one guy with a giant eye that you know about. But you start looking around at some of the other cages. You don't see anyone you recognize just with your passive or with your perception. Again, it's pretty hard to tell unless you actually like go over and make it an effort to try and identify them. Yeah, that's what you get from that. So with your investigation, Eric, you start digging through and you see a lot of random items. Like you don't know if any of them are magical or not. You see like several swords. Some of them look nice. Some of them look really rusted. You see what look like several different vials of things, of various different colors. You see a small, looks like an ornate figurine of some sort that looks like a dog. You do see a bunch of red beads on a necklace of some sort. And you find several different pouches of various coin. But I will say, with your investigation, you can probably pick up a couple of these. Just because there's so many different things in here that it's hard to know what you really want, unless you want to specifically go for like gold or specifically magic items or something.
So you got what items? You got a...
He has the potential. He has the potential.
Take them.
I know. So
take them all. I am a loot.
Should I roll for like what I can take, or what do you?
Yeah, go ahead and just roll me a d20, just like a straight d20, and we'll see how much you get. Because this is very fast paced. You don't have time to like dissect everything.
Oh, that was super good. It was a 3 both times I rolled.
Okay. Roll me a d6. We will see what you get.
I'm rolling new dice. I don't know how I feel about this. 6.
Okay, so I will say you can choose 6 of these different things I've listed.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
So
there's a beads.
There's a necklace of beads. Yep.
Okay. There's a statue of a dog.
Yep, statue of a dog. There's several pouches of different various coins. There's tons of different types of potions. You don't know if any of them are magical or if all of them are magical. There are weapons like.
What are the weapons?
I mean, there would be a plethora. Just like swords, shields. Some of them rusted. Some of them look like they were bought yesterday, type of thing. I will say you don't know if they're magical of any kind.
I don't hate this.
This
is like supermarket sweet.
Yes,
and I really enjoy this.
Yes.
So I will take the beads, the dog.
Okay.
I will grab 1 potion.
Okay.
I will grab a shield.
Okay.
And I will grab 2 weapons of your choice.
2 weapons? Okay, sounds good.
I think there were pouches of things.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do pouches instead of something?
So
you got.
I'll do a weapon, a shield, and 1 pouch. The heaviest pouch I can find.
Okay, sounds good.
Which could be just 1,000
copper. Oh.
Copper, yeah.
Okay.
He also has an aversion to silver. He can smell silver.
Can he?
I don't know. He's a fucking were creature.
That's true.
I feel like it would hurt him.
Not that.
Yeah, like. I will take a HP damage if I touch silver.
Wait, in canon you will, or just
no?
Oh, okay, sure. So go ahead and write down your list of what, and we will. You said
I got a necklace.
The necklace, the
red
dog.
Beads, you said.
Yep, necklace of beads, the dog. You took 1 potion. You took a sword,
1 shield,
a sword and a shield. Yep. 1
bag of coin.
Yep.
Or whatever, and 1 weapon of your choice.
Yes. So we will determine that at a later time. As you. I'm assuming you guys are quickly trying to evacuate in some fashion, or what? What is the plan? What is the current plan?
You're looking for your... I'm just digging.
Yeah, I know you're digging.
That's like... I just imagine a barrel and there's just legs. And there's just things flying out of the barrel.
I mean, they're in here looking for us.
So they definitely seem to be starting an investigation of some sort. Let's jump back to you guys. Okay. So you guys start making your way up this ramp, and it looks like this definitely looks. I don't want to say man-made because it's still pretty difficult terrain, if not for your ranger friend. But you do manage to make it up a slope, and you open up to what looks like a medium-sized room. You can't quite see all the bits and pieces, but you do manage to make it up what you feel like is ground level, like you're no longer down a floor, if that makes sense.
From what I can see, do I see any movement in this room?
Are you doing your passive, or are you like specifically trying to look for...
I'm looking for any movement, any creatures that could be in this room.
Perception check. Does anyone want to do that as well? Do you guys want to be doing anything?
Perception check.
Alright.
Yeah, so we started going up
Up a ramp.
through the veil thing.
Yep. Past looked like a secret entrance.
22.
Natural 20.
12.
So you two, specifically Duke, you don't see any movement in here. You do feel what seems like some movement of air that seems to be like making its way just ever so slightly past your face, and it's coming from the opposite side of this room.
Feel air. You?
Yes.
And you would definitely hear like crickets and like outside type bugs. Like
I think this
I'm
is the
also
exit.
hearing things that, like, bugs that would be outside.
This is likely the exit. I want to check this room
goodness.
for any traps, specifically. I'm definitely concerned about, now that we've gone up, that this floor won't open up underneath of us again.
Okay.
So...
Go ahead and give me an investigation. So what are you two doing back down in the cave? As
just tossing items to Rowan because
Yep.
he's big.
Yep, you're definitely throwing stuff from this barrel. You definitely would hear passively the movement from in the other room seems to be heading in your direction. What are you doing?
I have no clue when the fuck this is gonna wear off.
That's why you don't drink things you don't know what they are.
I'm gonna take like a rock from just the ground. I imagine there's a rock.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna take a rock and like pass it, like try to give it a good chuck down the hallway from where we were drawing it in. I'm assuming.
So are you trying to aim for like the other room? Because there is more of a hallway past where you guys came in. Are you trying to like aim it through that doorway type of thing?
Yeah, trying to get their attention to go that way for a second, kind of thing.
Go ahead. Give me either an attack roll or a dex check, whichever you prefer.
Attack roll. Yeah, I've got a lot bigger plus on that one. 20.
Yeah. So you managed to like bounce it off of the wall and make it into that previous room past this entryway that you guys came in. And it definitely sounds like there is movement going in that direction. You can't quite see because it's too far out of your vision, but you definitely would hear more than just 3 sets of footprints.
But the people in this room, does it look like that caught their attention that I am aware of?
The seer that was in here kind of looking around, it definitely, like, you see in his expression that it drew his attention. But he doesn't immediately, like, run in that direction either.
That's fine.
He definitely seems to be making his way around, almost inspecting the cages themselves of, like, what you guys did to them. Like, he's not super concerned about your whereabouts, it seems like. It seems like he's more interested in knowing more about you, almost.
Sure.
What are you guys doing?
I will just shriek into the, like, shadows.
Okay, well, go ahead and roll me stealth. Are you trying to like move back to where the party is? Is that the idea, or are you just kind of trying to hide?
Because we're like in like the like very back, right?
Yep, you're.
Yeah, I guess I would like kind of go into the shadows and then move back to like I guess where I know the exit or where they went at least.
Yep, kind of around
But
the
slowly.
outside. Yep.
Not like try to want to keep close to Rowan. Because he probably can't hide as well as myself, but also like hide myself because he can probably protect himself a little better than you have like 4 health.
He has
I've got 24.
Oh, you're fine. You're not dead yet.
Yeah.
Oh. Just 11.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I assume I don't have pass without a trace.
Unless within 30 feet of me.
no. So you as you start making your way around this barrel of goods, you forgot that you took out a dagger, we'll say, that you accidentally step on and let out a little yelp as you're making your way past it. It definitely seems to have alerted this Varric to your presence, and he looks in your general direction and doesn't see you immediately because you're outside of his vision, from what you can tell, because you made it past his vision. You might have been.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if I ever I fought him, didn't I?
Yeah, you've seen him. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if he's ever seen me. If he even knew I existed.
He teleported you away.
Yeah,
because I first attacked him.
Yeah,
so he knows I exist.
Yeah,
I was just trying to figure out if we have ever interacted. Because
So he is taking note of that general vicinity, of where you're both at. Are you doing anything? As he seems to take note, and he doesn't immediately start moving your way, but he definitely seems to acknowledge that you kind of let out.
I mean, I look over at Fennec and I voice the word, so you can see it but not hear it, and I just say, run.
How many hours has it been since Rowan?
It's probably been like an hour and a half.
Oh, you still got a lot of time.
Getting close to 2 hours, probably.
oh no, Rowan.
So
Rowan's imprisoned part 2.
Right.
Do you have anything for structures or anything like that you would get double damage? I'm not sure about the enlarged spell specifically.
no, I get an extra D4 to my damage.
Could I remove it with a restoration?
I mean, you definitely can try. I mean, you don't know.
I don't think it'll work, unfortunately.
I just don't know how your magic works.
Magic herpes.
And since it's my size, I take my Everflask, which is full of whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
And I start dumping it on the ground. Just
Okay.
letting it flow.
So you start unloading this thing, and it starts to come out like a waterfall. I will say it starts to
because it's huge.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
trying to get it to kind of flow back into the room where we had previously come from.
Yeah. So I will say it probably would take a little time, but are you trying to just make a small inch of water, or are you trying to flood this place?
I'm not trying to flood it. I'm just trying to cover the ground and make it flow back into the room where we
Okay.
were.
So as you start to unload this, what?
Phrasing. Are we still doing phrasing?
Sure.
Okay.
You start dumping this large load of what? I can't say load. Why can't I say load?
Load bag.
This large quantity of alcohol. Is that better?
Yeah, it makes me feel better.
So you start dumping this large quantity of
Not as
alcohol,
thirsty.
and you can smell it pretty strong, which kind of alerts the seer to kind of quicken his pace towards you, which you can then quickly see that you are pouring this large flask. And he's like, "What are you doing there?" And he is quickly approaching you now as this flood of liquid starts to pick up some of the barrels and even starts to enter some of the cages on the other side of the room, and definitely starts to wake some of these people up. Again, they're very disoriented, very confused why they smell like alcohol now. And he says, "You stop what you're doing there!" And he is going to definitely cast something at you, unless you're going to do something. He's definitely going to try and cast some type of spell.
Yep. I just kind of, as I see him come up, I just kind of toss the flask at him, and
oh, okay.
I say, "Here you go, present from me to you," and I shift, and I take the fuck off.
Okay, where are you running to?
Oh, past him, because I can't run back.
Okay, so you... Are you running back to where everyone else is to meet up with them?
I would run to where I know the wall is.
Mm-hmm.
The curtain? Or whatever.
Yeah, well...
Secret.
Yeah, it's a secret
opening.
It's a secret opening that is now revealed. What? I can't say opening now?
No, you just said load.
Oh my god.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. Anyway. So you make it back to the entrance of that secret tunnel.
But I would run back and like just across like the threshold and then wait.
Okay.
I don't know where those guys are.
You definitely would hear them up the ramp.
But I would stop like right after. I assume it's like a kind of a mirage, and wait and like try to listen to what's going on so I know what's going on the other side.
Just a point of order: the mirage is gone at the moment because of the Wand of Secrets. It revealed it, so like there's no like hiding behind it. If that's what you're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
So like it's just like a generic opening right now.
I will wait around the corner, like just a couple feet in, and kind of like hug the wall.
So is how big is the opening?
It's like a medium size, like.
Oh, so did Clifton fit through the opening?
It's a little bit of a squeeze, but he's a medium sized creature, so he's fine. Same thing with Rosemary. She's also a fairly large humanoid, but again, she can fit through.
Just Rowan's real big.
Yes, he's currently too large to fit through. I mean, you could potentially try and damage some of the nearby structure to try and get
a lot of noise. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just giving you options.
I know.
So go ahead and give me an attack roll as you chuck this flask at the seer.
14. I'm not trying to hit him. I'm tossing it to him.
Oh, okay. You're not trying to do damage. You're just trying to like throw it in his vicinity.
Yeah, just to kind of.
So when you throw it to him, is it like?
Yeah, no, it's like this.
It's a large.
Either gonna have to dodge out of the way, or
he'll
someone throws a barrel at you. Same thing.
Yes. I will say, as you're throwing it, go ahead and give me a dex check to see if he hits you with a spell before you throw it or not. Either way, you're still going to throw it, but...
Oh, that's much better. That's a 21.
Yeah. So, I will say, you go before him, so you chuck this flask at him, and he definitely gets hit.
I'm keeping it open, by the way, so it continues to flood, so he'll have to deal with that.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
So, as you throw it at him, you see him take out his staff that, like, it was on his back. And he takes it out, and he's, like, pointing at you, ready to hit you with a spell. And then he sees this flask fly at him, and just cover him with alcohol. And he is very disoriented by this, as you just run right past him. Are you making your way around, like, back to where you came from type of thing?
Whatever entrance is big enough to make it through.
You can definitely make it through that entrance where you guys came in to this room. Are you going north or south where the combat was, or into the unknown?
Oh, it's big enough into the unknown?
I mean, it's a large hallway, so you definitely could. This is probably a good 50, 60
end up
feet.
being a fucking dead end, and
you don't know.
At the very least, I could lead him on a merry chase around the
into
other
the
areas.
unknown, Josh.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll also, for good measure, click my pocket watch.
Okay.
Giving me a boost of speed.
Is your plan just to run and keep running until you become small again, and then double back and try and make your way through? Okay. Yeah. So we will come back to you. Finnick, you hear the people above you. You hear a commotion coming from the other side of this room where Rowan. It sounds like Rowan ran in the opposite direction of where you are. So you don't hear any more combat necessarily. You would definitely hear a lot of people being very disoriented by all this alcohol that's now drowning
as they
them.
start drinking it because fuck, why not?
Right? Yeah. The prisoners themselves are being very rowdy, either disoriented or drinking or whatever, or drowning in.
It might be suffocating from the fumes.
They're gonna die. They're dehydrated, and then you're gonna give them
alcohol. Yeah.
To them, if they drink, man.
Well, it would be their last drink. It's fitting.
It wouldn't be a bad.
It's one way to go.
Go out drunk.
What are you doing? Are you waiting for him to come back, or are you just?
I would go try to find the rest of the party to see what they're doing, I guess.
I mean, they're directly up the ramp. So, what did you roll? I can't remember, sorry.
24.
24.
To investigate for traps, specifically looking at the floor, because I don't want to fall back into the trap that got us here in the first place.
Yeah, goddamn slide.
So you start investigating the nearby vicinity. You don't see any traps in this room. It seems like this was a natural
Cavern?
Sure, a natural cavern. It seems to open up to the world as you make your way around this room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a very obvious, like, opening that you have to go down a little ways a bit, but you can definitely hear, like, the sounds of the outside pretty close by, I would say, probably within, like, 50, 60 feet or so down the... you can't see the opening necessarily, but you definitely... like, hear it and feel the wind coming in. And you don't find any traps. And at this point, I will say Finnick makes his way up the ramp, and you guys are all together, sans Rowan.
Where's Rowan?
He's too big to fit through. He was drinking some whiskey, fighting some guys.
He could die! What are we gonna do?
Oh, no.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have anything that can make him small again?
I don't even know how we got big in the first place.
Why is he drinking whiskey while fighting?
It's Rowan.
Okay.
I love the episode. It's Rowan.
He's born with it. Maybe it's Rowan.
Maybe it's growing on him.
Look, there's an exit to the outside world here. I think our best course of action is to get out of here.
And come back for him.
Because we were all very weak, and we have Rosemary, who is...
We're going to do this again.
But much faster than we did last time, because they will kill him and sacrifice him to an elder god if we don't.
Yes. I would even propose... Who are all these people down there? Are these town folk?
I didn't get a good look at them.
Well...
Yes, actually, wait. Yes. Now that you mention it, Varric did mention that they were taking people from the town, and he may or may not have suggested that if that's not enough people to appease his elder god, then maybe they'll work on the rare creatures in the mountain.
Okay. Well, before anyone gets sacrificed...
Rosemary is with us.
Yes. She is noisily eating and drinking, but yes.
Okay.
I actually want to ask her...
Can we get out of here first?
I have an important question that might answer something to down there.
Yes, but the enemies could find us at any moment.
They're going to find us at any moment anyway, and we can talk while we walk.
Let's do that.
I'm going to describe the symbol that we found in the alley.
Okay.
Does this...
The eye... let me get the description again, as I know I've given it to you guys, but it's been a while, so that's totally fine. I have to find that.
That's my first ring.
It was an eye with, like, it was an eye, a symbol of an eye, with a flaming pupil, I believe.
Rosemary, we found a sort of insignia of sorts. It's an eye with a flaming pupil in the town. Is this familiar to you?
You can see in her expression on her face that, like, her mind is reeling for information, but it's hard for her to think at this point. Like she's on a game show and she knows the answers on the tip of her tongue, but
I think
she's also, like, exhausted.
Yeah, after I see her struggling for a while, I kind of, like, support her with my... Like, I put my arm around her to support her, but she's bigger than me, so it probably looks really awkward.
Get around the waist.
Yeah. Let's find somewhere to rest, because she's... How long have you been down there?
And she looks at you, and you can see, like, just a single tear go down her face, and she's like, I don't know.
What was the last date that you remember?
I lost track.
Before you went in there, the last date that you were in the town. I tell her what the date is now.
I believe it is, like, fucking calendar. I
wrote it in the book. The first time you ever gave us a date, I wrote it in the book.
I think it was the 15th or something. And
it's the year 1259.
But what date is it?
I didn't get a date. But it is spring into summer.
Yes. Let me get that date. I have it somewhere. I believe it is. The last time I gave you a day was the 16th of Thunshear. I will say it's now the 28th.
It's the 28th. Okay, I tell her that. This is the day.
Because that would be... Sure. Which, just an FYI, you remember that the full moon happens on the Mary Franz Day, which happens in 3 days.
Oh, God.
But Rosemary will say it's the 28th. It must... Maybe the 20th?
You've been down there for a week?
I don't
Or longer then?
I don't know.
We've only been here for, 4 days? 4 or 5 days?
4 or 5 days, something like that. Yeah. So within the time frame that she gave you, there's no way that you have met her.
Well, that certainly confirms it.
Let's find a safe place to go.
Leaving him down there again.
I'm out of spells, and you and Chats look like absolute shit right now.
Oh yeah.
Not
we
the first time.
will die if we go down there to save him now.
I know.
Duke.
I'm saying I agree.
We're not going to leave him behind.
We already are.
We're going to come
Where
back.
are we staying?
There's nowhere to stay. We outstayed our welcome with the farmer.
So, okay, is this like plains where
Yes.
we're at?
So as you make your way out of the cave, the hallway that you guys make your way through is a little curvy. It has several stalactites, stalagmites you kind of have to squeeze through, but you eventually do come to an opening. And you are probably a couple 100 feet, maybe, from where you guys came in. You know roughly where the entrance was where you guys came in. And you're pretty close to that. And between here and the town, it's open plains. There's a stretch of mountain to your south that is to your back. There's probably a lot of trees, probably like a part of the forest that surrounds the town a bit. But right now you are in open plains, nothing protecting you.
Our best bet is to try and get to those trees as soon as possible.
Let me double check.
Yes. We should stay somewhere where we can keep a sight on
This
the
behind
caves.
us is like a huge mountain range, right?
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's hundreds of miles long.
We can
Why
make
don't-
camp up the rocks.
Why don't we go down a few miles and climb up the mountain ways and stay on the mountain? That's the safest place, probably.
These hills will be swarming with orcs by nightfall.
I hope not.
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. The mountain range does look pretty jagged, but potentially climbable. It definitely would take a little bit of effort, I will say, to make it up, the mountain side, as it
We can head back in the woods,
We have to keep in mind that she is not in a good place.
and the ooze is in the woods.
It is. You currently don't see it, in the near vicinity. You have moonlight out here, so your
We
vision
could try
kind
to
of
get
goes
back
a little
into
farther.
town, but
I don't think town is wise.
tried to beg Boren for forgiveness to let us stay another night.
Is there any large boulders or outcroppings in the rock that might conceal us if we were to duck behind it?
I can
Like
set my
mountains?
alarm up
Yeah.
if we find a place that guards us.
I mean, in the immediate vicinity, it doesn't seem like there are any openings. It seems like it's pretty sheer cliff face. Other than the opening that you guys previously went in, that's the only opening in the specifically to go inside of the mountain that you know about. I'm assuming you're trying to think of a caldera or something, right?
Well, yeah, like an alcove of some sort, or a big boulder that we could just camp behind that would be out of eyesight.
You currently don't see any in the near vicinity. I mean, you definitely can start making.
I don't.
along
Yeah, I
the
don't think we should
cliffside.
camp in the near vicinity anyway. I think we should go a few miles down
Alright.
and then look for a place. We should get out of this general area.
Okay. Yes. Well, do you see anything down there?
Where are you gesturing to?
I mean, which way are we going?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are you going south along the mountain? Are you going, like, across this open plain towards the woods? Are you going north along the mountain?
So, we're here...
I can give you a picture if you'd like.
Okay.
So you guys are about here. So,
Okay.
like, it immediately goes into woods and
Right.
a little bit of mountain range. In my mind, this is more of a sheer cliff face than, like, a jagged, like it's showing. So it's more of a continuous than a bunch of different mountains. But that's just the way it depicts it on the map.
Okay.
So, that's what you got.
Well, I think the woods would be better. We'll be out in the open if we try to camp next to
That's true.
these rocks and cliffs.
Alright. Woods then.
Alright.
So you guys start making your way west, across this open field. Are you trying to keep are you trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to keep your distance from the town?
My pass without a trace should still be out if it hasn't been an hour yet.
Correct.
So, okay. So, where's the Snoring Mountain in relation to us right now?
It's on the other side of the town. Taran is between you and the mountain.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Alright, yes.
So, as you guys start making your way into the woods, and you don't seem to find any hostile creatures or anything nearby, and you start making camp in a small outcropping that you find in the woods, and that's where we'll take our first break. Thanks for tuning in to Campaigns of the Plains channel. Catch new material every Friday on YouTube, and make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Now, on with the show. Welcome back. Welcome back from break. We will pick up with the party is going into the forest to make camp, I'm assuming?
Into the woods.
Into the woods. I can only curb his singing so much. But anyway, so you guys start making your way into the woods that is south of Taran. You pretty easily find, like, a small little, outcropping of trees and shrubbery and such, that you can make camp in, pretty easily. How are you guys facilitating making camp? Are you just throwing down your bedrolls and heading to bed? Are you guys gonna try and eat something? Do you want to sit around a campfire?
Sapphire will do what she hasn't done in a really long time, and she will take out some wire and start stringing it around the camp area to set up an alarm.
Okay, sounds good.
And while she's doing that, she'll look at, like, the guys, the boys, and say, could somebody gather some wood so we can have a little fire and eat something?
Yes.
And set up the tent while I'm protecting us from death.
Yes,
like
understood.
setting the alarm up.
Sure. Finnick, do you want to help search for wood?
I can help.
Okay. Go ahead and either give me investigations independently, or one of you can have advantage, either way.
23?
I can help him if you...
23?
Do you want to roll with advantage to see if you get anything higher?
7?
So 23. So yeah, within a short amount of time, I'll say, depending on how much you want to gather, pretty quickly, you guys manage to find at least one night's worth of wood. You bring it back to the party. You manage to. I'm assuming someone has some sort of light source that they can light the fire with. Otherwise, you can do survival checks to potentially make a fire.
I'm sure I have a tinderbox.
Okay, sounds good. So you make a fire, and you guys all huddle around it.
I'm taking a short rest.
Okay. Yeah. anyone who would like to take a short rest, you definitely can. As you guys are all huddled around this campfire. Who are you making food? Are you? I mean, at the moment, you guys only have rations. It was usually Rowan's job to make food, so in his absence, you don't have anyone currently making food for you.
I have the cauldron.
You do have a cauldron.
That's 28, no, 7.
Is anyone else taking a short rest?
I'm trying to see if I actually.
I don't have any
hit dice.
anything to take a short rest with.
Yep.
No more hit dice?
Yeah.
We used it already.
Okay.
I need a long rest. I don't think we should really waste time on short rests, but.
Well, I just want to have a little something in case something jumps out of the woods, but, okay, I'm gonna pull out that cauldron and set it on.
It's miniature size at the moment, so you pull it out. And I will say, I don't think I said this. It is dark at this point. Like the moon is out. I know I said that, but it is probably like 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's pretty late. So you pull out the cauldron.
Yep. I don't remember if.
Do you have a Twitter?
I do. Why? I don't know. It is off the top of my head.
Okay. Did you write?
And I don't know. I guess I put this tiny cauldron on the fire. I don't know how to use this thing.
Correct. You don't. None of you have utilized it yet. So.
Oof.
What?
I'm just oof. That's it.
You just got it. So you set it. So are you putting it on top of something so it doesn't sit in the fire? Otherwise, it is a small little cauldron that you just place into the fire.
I don't know how this works.
I know how to cook. He's been a lord his entire life.
I think what I'll do, I'll find a stick that has like a little Y branch on it, and then I'll like hang I assume the cauldron has like a little handle or something to it?
Yes, it does have a handle and a lid.
Okay. I guess
It has handles on the side, and
I'll sling the handle over one of the branches of the Y, and then kind of shove the stick into the ground next to the fire so that it hangs over top.
Okay, so you put this cauldron propped above the fire to potentially heat it up. So you have a hot cauldron now.
Have I ever seen it big?
Yeah, you definitely did.
Okay. And he manhandled it, but I don't remember what he did.
I mean...
Does any of you remember when Rowan found this?
It was literally today.
It was earlier today, Chad. So
yeah, I know, but it's been a long day.
it was sitting at a destroyed camp.
Do you remember how he made it smaller?
He didn't.
He didn't?
No, it was, I point to Clifton.
Oh, Clifton.
He went to pick it up and he touched it and then it...
Oh. Bigger.
Doesn't respond to your demand of bigger.
Well, that was brilliant.
I think I'll pull the stick away from the fire and then using like a cloth or something, try and open the lid.
Okay, so you with your cloth, you feel that it feels hot to the outside, but not like ungodly bearably as like a metal cauldron would be.
Mm-hmm.
And you take the lid off, and passively you see there are some runes on the top of the lid, that seem to be inscribed on it.
Mm-hmm.
But you do take the lid off and it is empty.
Okay. I guess, I don't know, maybe I'll try and put like a ration or something in there.
Okay.
And then put it over the fire.
Okay, so you put a ration into this little tiny little cauldron, and you put it over the fire, and it seems to start cooking this ration. Like it's heating up the ration in some form.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like it's eventually it's going to start to burn.
Sapphire kind of stands over what you're doing, and she goes, "Chats. When Rowan cooks, sometimes he puts more than just a piece of ration." You know, he usually has Finnick and I go and look for, like, nuts or...
I don't know how to cook.
I don't know how to cook either. I'm just telling you, usually Rowan puts other things in there, like, well, it's smoking, so maybe some water?
Well, okay. It was bigger, and it got smaller, so it's probably magical.
I pick it up. Is it hot? Is it hot? Or
It's warm to the touch. It's not, like, scalding.
So I pick it up and I just start, like, putting my hands around it and touching it in certain only because that's what Clifton did was hold it.
Yes. So as you pick it up and I'm assuming you're looking at it, you're inspecting it, you definitely see several runes that are along the rim, I believe. Yeah, several runes that are on the cauldron that you previously saw were lit up. And as you put your hands around it, you feel it immediately start to grow in size to its previously 4 feet wide, 50-pound, like, large cauldron.
I sit it down on the fire. Well, I figured out the magic.
Okay. Yeah, you certainly did.
Did the ration get bigger?
No, it got very small as it previously fit in this tiny little cauldron, and now it's just sitting in the bottom, just black.
Yes.
I would take that out because that's probably not edible anymore.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, I got it. I've watched Rowan cook a few times because I'm interested in it. You know, I'm interested in how he does it. It's interesting to watch.
Let me try some. I pull out the book that says The Hero's Feast.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is a cookbook.
Oh, there's a recipe in there. I remember.
Okay.
I open it up and look at look for the recipe. The one that's in there because there's only one recipe in there.
Yes. So it says, this is called Dwarven Hardtack. The description says, this ration requires fungus grown underground that can be turned into a dense flour. So you basically need some sort of fungus, mushrooms of some sort. And, I mean, you guys have to make a cooking check, which you will...
Okay,
it's just an intelligence check, really.
We're in a forest, so there's gotta be mushrooms.
I do have mushrooms from down there.
Let's use them. Rowan told... Wait, are they the ones that Rowan told us not to eat?
Maybe.
You guys are... I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna be perfectly fine. I'm gonna get through the cave and come back out. I'm gonna find your campsite and you're all gonna be dead.
They are black mushrooms.
Those sound like the ones Rowan told us not to eat.
Well, there were a lot of mushrooms down
Can I
there.
try to make a nature check on these mushrooms to see if they will kill us? Okay.
Come on, Ranger.
Like...
Are you not that kind?
I'm not that kind of ranger. I don't know how I keep having to say this to you guys.
I think Finnick is the only one with a good nature between you guys.
15.
So you look at these mushrooms, and you're used to scavenging previously. There are some versions of black mushrooms that are dangerous to eat. You're not positive, but you remember there being black mushrooms that you can eat. But the percent of black mushrooms you can versus can't is much higher. It's very possible these are poisonous. But you're not...
They're not, like, standing out to me as definitely poison.
Correct.
Okay. You know, chats, I remember Amethyst telling me there are some kinds of black mushrooms that are edible, and these don't look like the non-edible kind. So...
Tell me, do you have any more spells left, or are you out?
I have a meager few.
Okay. Do you have that... When you cured my deafness, do you still have that?
Yeah.
Okay, I lick one of the mushrooms.
I hope you start tripping balls.
Oh no!
Give me a con save.
Okay.
His eyes just fully dilate.
That's 7 total.
You see as Chats licks this mushroom, and he immediately just goes, as you just see a collection of colors and swirls, and the entire world just starts to...
How you feeling?
just fade away, like all your cares just disappear.
But he's not poisoned.
Nope.
How you feeling? You're not poisoned? You're still alive. You're not foaming at the mouth.
I'm going to sit, Butterfly.
Oh, thanks. That's a cute nickname. I don't know how it fits in at all. Maybe because my hair flutters.
I imagine I'm just seeing like waves of colors
Yes.
coming from her.
Yes.
So are the mushrooms good then for me to cook in the soup?
That's been great.
Yes, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Perfect. Wait.
I'm gonna find you, motherfucker.
Perfect.
We won't be dead, but we'll be high.
Oh shit!
All right, I follow the recipe.
Okay.
We're gonna keep fighting undead, weird ass shit, and you're on here tripping balls.
Give me an intelligence check.
That's the name of the episode.
Trippin' balls.
Tripping balls.
If you have cooking utensils, I believe you do with advantage, but I don't think you do. What's your roll?
Natural one.
Oh.
Okay.
So perfect.
I think I might just be called TPK.
Wait, is Jet supposed to be helping me?
He's tripping balls. There's no way he can help you right now.
He's helping you.
If anything, he'd give you disadvantage.
Chance, you're not doing a good job helping me, buddy.
I have one.
Stop! Don't
hand.
pit the fire! Don't pit the fire!
No. One is in like the dirt and mud, like feeling that, and the other's on the grass, like feeling the difference.
Did you ask for consent?
Oh shit!
Hey, that's another property.
Asking for consent? I know.
Anyway, right.
So, you try to follow this recipe, and it is, for some reason, well beyond your means.
I think part of this recipe's written in Dwarven, Chance. Do you speak Dwarven?
Dwarven.
Right.
Dwarven.
So, the recipe, when you try to create this recipe, you immediately put the, just the mushrooms in, and they just burn.
Ooh.
And you were like, oh shit, I'm supposed to add water.
Yep.
And so after you burn the mushrooms, they're no longer edible. You just dump a shit ton of water in. And as you do, you can see the cauldron start to fill with a strange, not clear colored liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It turns almost like a broth of some sort. And then you can quickly see, over time, like start stuff, various things start to appear, like you see some cut up carrots and some potatoes and some meat of some sort that seem to start bubbling to the top. You made a stew. Like,
I look
you
at it.
literally just put water in it.
I look at it for like a solid 5 minutes.
I think Chance is staring at this like.
We're witnessing this.
You all see her just burn some mushrooms. You can smell the mushrooms burning. And then you see her pour a bunch of water in. And then, depending if you're paying attention to the stew specifically, you can see it start to formulate.
I'm never gonna live this down. You're gonna be like, I made something, Rowan.
How did you do that?
You burned the mushrooms.
Rowan taught me how to cook. Clearly. I mean, I've been slaving over a meal for you guys.
You poured water after burning the only form of...
Well, then I added carrots and potatoes, and I think that's venison. Yeah, that's venison. And,
You do notice that it does start to bubble and starts to burn a little bit as it's just sitting on heat.
I take it off. I take it off of the hot and put it on some just warming coals.
So you take it off, and it stays very warm, like it's still steaming. You can definitely tell, like, stuff is starting to bunch up, almost like it needs to be agitated in some way.
Oh, I pick up a stick.
Okay.
And I stir it.
So you start to stir it, with this dirty stick, and you see...
I rolled 1!
Yes, you see the 1 ounce of water that you put in, or I shouldn't say 1 ounce, 1 cup of water that you put in, turn into 30 gallons of stew.
Oh my god!
Trippin' balls and dirty sticks.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So,
What is?
Hey, Chad, do you have a bell in your bag?
A bell?
Yeah.
There's bells everywhere.
Specifically, I open up his bag of holding,
There's definitely a bell.
bell,
Yeah.
and then I just ring it a lot.
Okay.
Dinner. I reach into the bag and think bowls.
You definitely find bowls.
I had bowls in there?
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
You
bowls.
had an entire kitchen
Wait,
set.
hold
at
up.
some point.
Spoon,
There's definitely a bunch of spoons.
Spoons?
Only forks, actually.
ladle.
No.
Ah, perfect. Chats, you just have a collection here.
We raided an entire house.
I just start ladling in the soup.
I mean, he would literally just stick his arm out with the bag and just walk along.
Oh, really? Okay. Fine china.
Yeah, you would have fine china in there.
Ah.
It's a little tarnished, but
Needs to be cleaned. I give everybody a bowl of soup. I give Clifton a really big bowl of soup.
Yeah, so, I mean, everyone can eat this hearty stew, and no matter how long you leave the cauldron off of the heat, it still is, not bubbling, it's a temperate,
It's warm.
good eating temperature, not gonna scald you, and it never gets cold, no matter how long you just let it
this
sit.
is quite useful, actually.
I think that
It'll
all the
take
time.
a lot of stress off of Rowan.
I think all the time.
Although
oh
I
my
think
god!
he likes cooking.
When we get
He
Rowan
might
back,
be jealous.
please, for me, when we get Rowan back, don't tell him this is a magic pot, and just let me amaze him at my new cookies.
I can provide absolutely zero promises.
Please, Duke. Please, I'll do one thing exactly as you ask.
Roll me another con save.
Okay.
Also, I think he licked a mushroom and is tripping balls now, but it's kind of funny, so I'm going to leave him that way.
That's a 21.
Yeah. So at this point, you're starting to come down from your high, and it's definitely you were on an endorphin high, and so you were very
Real good.
yeah, you were feeling real good, and now you're definitely hitting a low, and you're oh fuck, and
Yes.
you're drunk, hungover type of thing.
Are you high?
Shh, I was catching bugs.
So you definitely feel a mellow, you can barely keep your eyes open. You have this bowl of hot soup that you don't know where it came from. And you're just kind of zoning out. But you're down.
I noticed Chat's
Well, I literally was
really fade.
so he
Yeah.
licked one of the mushrooms a little bit ago.
Well, he's not doing well. You should eat that. You need to.
Yeah. I'll just sip it a little bit.
Oh yeah, don't all at once. Oh, that would be bad. Just slow, like
Hopefully
that.
there's not any mushroom residue in there.
We'll find out.
I don't think the mushrooms are safe to eat.
You told me they were.
Oh. Whoops.
A note: both Clifton and Rosemary are just inhaling this food.
If there's 30 gallons of soup, they can eat as much as they want.
Yes. I will say, Rosemary is definitely eating way more than she should, and she does.
Oh, Rosemary, you should probably pace yourself, girl.
It does take her a little while, but she does eventually get sick.
Yep.
You just see her inhaling this, and then maybe an hour later, she's like, "Oh God," and then runs to the woods and vomits, and then cycles.
Sure.
We should experiment with different liquids.
Do you want to put mayonnaise in this pot?
Well, I was thinking, what if you put wine?
Tomorrow we're going to have wine soup.
I do have some wine in here.
I mean...
My thing can make wine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I can.
But can it make that one wine from that?
Oh.
Rip.
It'll
be interesting to
Rip
see.
dusted wine.
If a magic fluid will be then further magicked in this pot.
What about honey?
Tomorrow we make honey soup. And wine soup.
So
We're gonna make
anyway,
every kind of soup.
we're
wonder
getting
if it has
distracted. What is we need to rest.
Yes.
But we also have someone dying down there. Again.
Well, I hope he doesn't die, because we don't have
Why
any way to
does
bring him
this keep
back.
happening?
Well, we followed a person that looked like his cousin into a cave, and we were duped. So
So never follow Rosemary.
And she looks up at this.
It's not your
and
fault.
she's like,
I'm touching her, like patting her back while she's throwing up.
what did I...
No, it's not. It's not your fault. See, you have a doppelganger, and she lied to us, and we didn't realize it was a doppelganger at the time, but now we do. So you're the real Rosemary, right?
I think so.
That's good.
I
That's
should
good.
hope so.
It would be, do I believe that?
Give me an insight check.
We never once insight checked Rosemary.
Nope.
We were just
No,
like,
I think we tried, but failed all of them, and we're just like, well...
Well, and
I trust Rowan, and he trusted her, so I had no reason to
Yes.
roll an insight check.
That's
Rowan?
19.
Rowan's fault.
I mean, from what you know of Rosemary, which is not much, she seems to be telling the truth. Being as you have literally just met her, potentially, it's hard to discern if she's lying necessarily, but
She doesn't give off any of the usual cues, though.
no, she's not like, I don't know what a usual cue of lying would be. Like, she's not like,
Her eyes aren't darting from side to side.
yeah,
Starting
like,
or fidgeting with...
I mean, she's definitely a lot more focused on not vomiting when she's answering you. So, I mean, she's definitely not, like, focused on trying to lie, if that makes sense. But she's also pretty hard to read at this point, considering what state she's in.
All right, now Rosemary, after you're done vomiting, I'm going to give you some crackers and you're going to eat those, and they're just going to calm your stomach. And then when you eat again, you need to eat at a slower pace. I know you're hungry,
Nibble the crackers, by the way.
but
I'm
you're
just
gonna
saying.
you're gonna throw it all up if you keep like shoving it into your face like old Clifton there.
And you point over at Clifton, and Clifton's eating out of the cauldron.
Clifton, bowl! I gave you a bowl, Clifton.
But there's more in here.
Well, put it in your bowl.
So just scoop it and just put it in my mouth?
You know what? Yes,
Yeah.
that works. That works for me. Yeah. Just no pause in the cauldron, Clifton.
he takes his paw and just, like, darts back and looks at you like...
No, bowl, Clifton.
you used a dirty stick to stir it. I think it's...
It's magic soup.
he
I'm
just,
trying to teach him manners.
he just, like, starts clawing in it.
Clifton, manners, buddy. Rowan's gonna be disappointed in you.
He growls at you a little and then grabs the bowl disappointedly and just...
There's a good Cliff. Now there you go.
Oh boy. Well, we're at the woods.
Yeah, you're in the woods.
I think we do need to consider actually bunking down.
Yeah, we'll set up the tents and go to sleep for the night. We should take watches.
Yes, and keep an eye on the caves to see if Rowan does make it out. Afraid we can't do a whole lot in our current state.
Okay. Well,
Are you just bedding down for the night? Okay, so we will get to watches in a bit. Just have an idea of who wants to take watch and when. We're going to jump back to Rowan. So, you just start running with your full speed. How fast can you go, and how long can you maintain that speed?
For 1 minute, I can travel 120 feet 240 feet per second. Or per 6 seconds.
Okay, so,
So that times 10 would be...
2,400 feet.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yes, half a mile.
that is terrifying, by the way.
So, just to give you some idea, you do run past some of those smaller type creatures, the grus, as well as the skinless man that seem to be investigating. But you could easily run past them and outrun them. As you continue down this path, there's several like splintering paths from this. It does eventually get to like a T intersection that splits off. Depending on how far you want to go, or if you want to try and hide, there's like you can easily get lost in here. So depending on like what you want to do to try and evade them, but you 100% are much faster than they can catch. So depending on if you stop though, or when you stop, would depend on if and when they catch up to you.
Sure. Basically, I'm gonna get as far as I can away from them, and use my passive to see if there is, like, any good places to hide.
I will say, because you're going so fast, it's hard with your passive perception to really make a good idea of, like, this is going to be a good hallway to go down, or this is going to be a good, like, small little room to go into.
Yeah, I'm just doing quick scans, like, if there's anything, like, any large, like, stalactites that I could hide behind, or any large walls of barrels and boxes and that kind of thing. That's mainly what I'm looking out for.
So at what point are you starting to look for cover, we'll say? Are you going to try and, like, run for, like, an hour and then look for cover, or are you going to run for, like, 10 minutes and then look for cover?
Oh, I'm going to run for 10 minutes and then look for cover.
Okay.
You can go... I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So with your passive perception, you would definitely be able to find, like, several different corridors. Even along this corridor, there'd be several smaller rooms that have various sizes of, like, stalactites and stalagmites that you could probably hide in. Depending on if you want to continue down, like, a specific corridor to try and, like, get away from this main thoroughfare that seems to be fairly commonly used. It's up to you, but depending on where you want to hide would depend on if they find you.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to get the furthest away I can. You said it came to a T intersection. I'll hang a right.
Okay, sounds good. So I will say you eventually do get to a dead end after you take that final right. It comes to a large circular room that looks like there's a bunch of large rocks, boulders, stalactites. Like, it doesn't, from your immediate entrance to this room, it doesn't seem to be dangerous of any kind. You don't see any movement or anything. You definitely would hear a lot of, like, dripping from water. You probably would find several pools of stagnant water that have been here for a while, but it seems relatively safe. And you haven't heard any movement from behind you in a long time.
Sure.
So you can probably guess that either it's going to take them a while to catch up to you, or they might not have pursued you this far, considering how fast you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna find a good dark corner to try to hide myself in.
And you are a large creature, so I'm not gonna give you disadvantage or anything, but there's definitely, like, some larger things to hide behind. So go ahead and roll stealth.
16.
Okay. Are you planning on hunkering down here for a while, or are you just waiting until the spell wears off?
Hopefully
the plan?
this potion wears off. I guess I'm going to wait for as long as I can, keep a real keen ear out for any movement coming from where I had come from.
Okay.
But I guess there's not much else to do right now. So I've already played with one of the fun things that I picked up. I've got some time. I'm going to study this blue blender ball sphere.
Okay. Let me pull that up. Just give you a description again. This is a small sphere of thick glass that weighs about a pound. It's blue and it has I can't remember. It was like the energy drink ball thing. That's
blender ball.
Yeah, blender ball. Yeah, it has that, like, inside of it. You're not sure how it works necessarily. It definitely has, like, runic symbols all over it, so you probably ascertain it's magical of some sort. But you don't know specifically what it does, or how to utilize it yet. But
yeah, I'm gonna focus on it like I did the staff and see if I can't figure out what it does.
Okay. I will say, over the course of an hour, you're kind of hanging out, looking at this. large globe-like sphere as it's grown in size. And you have about an hour left, right? It's because of the spell.
You said it was about hour and a half in. I ran for roughly half an hour. So I'd be at 2, and if I spend an hour focusing on that, I'd only have 1 hour left after that.
Sounds good. So, within that hour that you're trying to decipher what this thing is, you don't hear any more movement coming from that initial walkway that you came through to enter this room. You definitely would hear like what sounds like maybe bats or something. This seems to be a very tall room, and so you probably would hear like chittering of bats and such in here. But nothing seems to pay you much mind. As you are investigating this sphere, though, you can definitely see that some of the symbols do line up, and they potentially say something or make out something, but you don't know what these words mean necessarily. But there is potentially something that is utilized to activate this item, whatever it may be. But you can't quite understand the language, as it's just symbols that you're not familiar with. But you have a generic idea of what it potentially could do.
So focusing on it does not attune me to it then?
It does not require attunement to utilize, unfortunately.
So I'll start to play with it. Does it rotate?
It does rotate. And as you start to... Are you just fiddling with it type of thing?
I mean, yeah, I'll make my best guesses about, like, this is in some kind of script I don't understand.
Correct. It's definitely, like, arcane symbols of some sort that seem to be lining up. It's because you don't know what these letters or symbols could mean, like, you're just... like a Rubik's Cube almost type of thing. Like,
listen for the clicks.
Right, yeah, exactly. So you're kind of fiddling around with it. Go ahead and give me just a straight intelligence check.
A whole 16.
So you're tinkering around with this thing, and you eventually get into we'll say a fashion where some of the runes seem to line up almost kind of perfectly, and the runes kind of lock into place, and they start to light up. And as they do, you hear kind of a sense of what could be a word, but you don't, because it's not a language you understand. It's just like this word pops into your head. It's like, and so you don't know what it does, but that word pops into your head. What do you do?
Try my best to repeat said word.
And as you do, the orb lights up, and it starts to just hover right next to you.
God damn it, it's the light. I quickly grab it down, and I'm like, nope!
So it's continuing to float right next to you, about 5 feet off the ground, and it still currently is lit up. So, I mean, you can, like, cover it with some of your clothes or whatnot to kind of obscure some of the light. But as you immediately let off, it lets off light, as if it was daylight. So, like, it was, like, an immediate, like, flash of sunlight. Like, sunlight. And so you get, like, a brief in the immediate vicinity. You see just, like, the room that you're in, which is a very large room, just several stalactites. You don't see any, like, eyes or anything looking back at you. You definitely would hear a lot of chittering from the bats above you. And they start to flutter around, and they start to make their way back through the tunnel that you came in. They don't seem to be attracted to the light in any way, but they definitely did not... They seemed agitated by it.
Sure.
But yeah, so that's what you got. You have a floating, glowing orb next to you that I'm assuming you're covering up. That continues to
bedroll over it.
Continues to glow and float.
Not anymore. I'm throwing my bedroll over it.
It's yeah, you probably can adjust it. Oh, it hovers in this way until you or another creature grasps it. So you do pull it out of the air.
No.
So I'll just tell you so you can add to your inventory. This is a drift globe.
Yes, quite. But yes, I don't remain here any longer. I'm still large.
Mm-hmm. For another hour.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to double back very quietly and take the other path now that my position has been given away.
Okay. So as you make your way back to that T intersection, you would hear some movement pretty far down that hallway where you first came back. As you can probably guess that the bats did alert them to something.
I am going to be smart-ish and, obscure my tracks as I cross. Like, I'm taking my same path that I can see on the ground back to the intersection, and then I'm doing one of those hop-over things, and then, scrubbing the floor as I take the other path.
Sounds good. So, you do manage to make your way down this western path, we'll say. And this one is a little bit more treacherous. It curves around quite a bit more than the previous path. It was a lot more straightforward. You do manage to come to a much smaller room. It's probably like a 10 by 10 little alcove that this hallway ends in. And there are, you probably have enough room to stand in, but it's very, very uncomfortable for you at this point. Because of your size. So there's not much room to hide necessarily, but you definitely can obscure your vision so that they can't see you directly down the hallway because of how the hallway's designed.
Yeah. You're doing that.
So are you planning on just hanging out here for a bit?
I don't have any other toys to play with, so Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna meditate and try to say a prayer and be like, Mater, it's time to help out, buddy. Really need to not be big anymore.
Because Rowan doesn't know when it's gonna end.
Right. So you sit down and very uncomfortably start to meditate. You would hear movement again very far down, possibly closer to that T intersection. You're not quite sure just because of the distance. But over that course of that hour, the movement does seem to recede. And it seems pretty quiet again. You don't hear any chittering of bats or any creatures or anything at this point. It seems pretty still. And then after that hour, you immediately feel yourself being uncomfortable for so long, and you just shrink back to your normal size.
Oh, thank you, Bill Major.
And you're still currently meditating, but it's probably getting close to 12, maybe 1 o'clock. So you're definitely feeling the exhaustion of the day, and as well as having to run so far. I mean, yes, you can run very far, but it's definitely taking a toll on you. I won't say you have a point of exhaustion at this point, but you're definitely nearing a point of exhaustion.
So this alcove is the only thing down this particular room?
Correct. This jagged hallway that you continued, this is the dead end.
Is there anything in this room besides?
Like an exit type of thing?
No. Just any boxes, anything.
From your cursory glance and your very high passive perception, you don't see any really of anything of a note in here. It seems like this is pretty abandoned, pretty not utilized part of the cavern potentially. I mean, from your entire time in here, none of it has seemed man-made necessarily. So it seems like this could have been just a pathway that naturally occurred and no one has been in here for potentially centuries. You don't know. But you don't see any dead bodies or boxes or anything. It doesn't seem like this is utilized for their purposes.
I gotta make my way back as well as I can.
Okay. Are you gonna just try and be as fast as possible, just dart your way through? Are you gonna try and stealth?
Oh no, I'm trying to stealth back. Now that they might still be looking for big me, so maybe smaller me can do a bit better.
You would have gotten short rest in if you have any hit dice. Feel free to use those.
Bad idea. But yeah, I'm gonna try to retrace my path and be on high alert and super stealthy.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Over a 20.
Oh yeah.
23.
So where are you specifically planning on going as you make your way back?
My plan is to try to get back to that door that we saw.
The hidden door?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you make your way back, for the most part, you make your way back to towards the, where you came from. There isn't much resistance until you get much closer to their encampment. It seems like they withdrew their efforts. It seems like there was too many paths for them to follow to potentially find you.
Fair enough.
And so, as you make your way closer to them, you definitely would hear that weird speech that potentially, I'm not going to say you identify some of the sounds, but it sounds similar to the sound that you heard in your head from the globe that you attained. So, you might know one word in their language. You don't know what it means, but so you hear them talking. You would see like a very, I wouldn't say large, like a medium-sized swirling vortex that appears close to where you guys fought the seer and the skinless man and the eye guy. And you would see, like, they're not hiding any of this, so it's very just matter of fact, like they have several people that they are dragging out of the cages that are drenched in alcohol, and you can watch them take a couple and just throw them through this portal, and after they finish with whatever they're doing, the portal stays open for a while, and you see a couple more of these little grooves come through. It's not like a transactional thing where it's like one person comes in, one comes out. It's more of like a hallway almost. Like they're utilizing this to get to somewhere or something, and stuff is coming through along the way, type of thing.
Sure.
Are you hanging out and trying and do anything, or are you just trying to bolt past?
I'm just trying to slip past as quietly as I can.
So, you would see them throw a couple people through, and then a couple grooves come through, and they seem very uninterested in anything that you could be doing. Like, they don't take notice of you. They don't seem to be really looking for you at this point anymore. So you can easily slip past. Once you're back in the cage room, are you just darting to that doorway?
So most of them, there's nobody else in here from the weird group, but there's...
there are people that are, I shouldn't say people, there are entities that are coming and going, taking prisoners back and forth. So, your stealth is high enough that you're able to make your way around that, but you're definitely not alone in this room necessarily, I wouldn't say.
I'm going to get as close to the cages as I can without stirring too much of maybe hiding by the same...
the
barrels.
Barrels? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just kind of taking a cursory glance to see if I can see my uncle.
Okay. Go ahead and give me investigation as you're kind of specifically looking at things that might identify your uncle to you.
Good. 18 though.
Let me double check. So you are, I won't say you're digging around, but you definitely are looking at specific unique features that you would be potentially utilized to recognize your uncle. Like his hair or a scar or like a ring that he had. And in your investigation, you don't find like a body or a person that matches any of those descriptions, but you do find a distinct ring with your family's insignia on it that would very obviously be your uncle's or your father's potentially. But
No, mothers.
mothers, yes, you're right. Thank you. So you find that in one of the cages in the dirt, it seems to, like, with your high perception and investigation, you would easily find this just because it sticks out, because it's shiny and you have good vision.
Sure.
But to the passive eye, it would be hard to find just because it's obscured. So you have an idea that he potentially was here at some point, but he is no longer. Either he was taken or he got away. You're not sure. There's no signs of like a struggle necessarily, other than the fact that they're imprisoned and covered in alcohol.
Fair enough.
So it's pretty muddy down here now.
It's not the prisoner or the warden's fault that they're covered in alcohol.
It's true.
Well, there's not much more for me to do, so I'm going to hit up that barrel that I saw Finnick digging around in before I leave.
Okay.
Support all of that.
What are you specifically looking for something, or are you just gonna dig around and try and find some stuff?
Yeah, I'll take the things that I think I can quickly snatch up.
Okay. Go ahead. So what's left is there'd be several varying rustedness of weapons and shields and such. There's plethora of different colors of potions. There's several of the bags of potential gems or currency of some sort. What are you specifically looking for?
I mean, if anything sticks out as magical, I'll definitely, everything in here is basically, you said rusted, like the weapons and...
Varying degrees. Some of them look, like I said, some of them look like they were bought yesterday. I will say, depending on how much time you want to spend digging through this, would depend on if you would be able to see, like this sword has, an enchantment of some sort. It has like insignias or runic symbols. But there is a lot of this. It would take some time to really dig through all of this stuff.
I'm not looking for like weapons or armor or anything, not necessarily. I'm more looking for like fun things like the drift globe.
Oh, okay. So
Toys.
Yes.
Toys.
Yes.
I'm looking for toys. He's a big boy.
Yeah. So let me.
Where does he get all those wonderful toys? I want toys. I want sharp toys.
Roll me a D100, I think it is. Let me double check.
Mostly looking for just like one of those kind of things to grab, and then I'll grab pouches.
Okay, sounds good.
Because those will be nice and quick and silent to swipe. 87.
Okay. So you find, ironically,
A second drift globe.
No. You find what looks like this is an amulet. I'm sorry, this is an amulet. So it is we'll say it just looks like a fist. Like it is like a
It's a fisted amulet?
yeah, it's just like a golden fist. And it's
like flat on a medallion?
No,
or
it's like a
three-dimensional like,
fist.
monkey's paw.
Similar, yeah.
Like a
Amulet
gold
of fisting.
That'll slow him down.
Fisty symbol. Got it.
Yes.
Fisty symbol.
Can you call it the punch necklace?
Sure. It is titled the Amulet of Mighty Fists. That's what it's called.
The mighty fisting amulet?
Yes. We'll figure out the stats later because this is not 5e, but that's fine.
Sure.
But that's what you find. And then you're gonna just take some pouches.
Yeah,
Correct?
I'll swipe some pouches.
How
many pouches can I swipe?
Roll me a d6.
6.
Okay, so you grab you grab 6 pouches of various different amounts of coin. Okay, so you have that necklace. You grabbed the coin pouches. Are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get.
Can I get me a present?
Huh?
I can take something for Rowan. What's my name? Finnick?
I did take something for Rowan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm quickly grabbing stuff here.
Sounds good.
This coin might be for you. I mean, there's 6 pouches and there's 6 of us.
It's probably 6 cursed coin pouches.
I don't know.
Cats will take all of them.
Those are mine.
I
Okay.
collect these.
You pick them up, they just like point you to chats like a water. They're just like, oh,
They're floating now.
cats that love cursed items.
Did you take the ring that you found, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, if I could snatch it up real quick, I definitely would.
Yeah, you definitely could. So make sure you mark that down. So you're making your way through the secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So at this point, the facade is back in the fact that it is obscured now, but you know exactly where it is because you just saw it be revealed. So you managed to make your way out of this tunnel. Are you being precautious in any way as you make your way to the top? I mean, you would see like footprints of your allies making their way through.
Those are tabaxi paws.
Yeah. Well, do you wear shoes?
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you
Those look like heeled shoes.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
you would
stilettos.
recognize your companion's footprints. Like, it's not hard.
Yeah, tabaxi feet,
That's a
dragonborn
dragonborn
feet,
foot.
Yeah,
bear paws.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Quite a menagerie.
right. I mean, Clifton may or may not wear clothes. I haven't decided yet.
I hope he's wearing pants.
Do you want him to wear pants?
Yes.
I mean, his junk's not just going to be hanging out.
Celeste. Sapphire. Who am I?
We saw an image earlier. He wears a Speedo.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sapphire. Sorry, I just did it again. Sapphire would put him in pants if he was not already wearing pants.
Yeah, I will follow the tracks out.
Clifton has dark red fur. FYI.
Oh,
I forgot that.
a redhead.
Yes. Anyway.
So is Rowan.
It's true. So, as you make your way out, I will say the tracks do end, and it's just open field. At this point, it's probably 1:30, 2 o'clock. It's getting pretty late. But depending if you guys have your campfire still going,
Probably would.
Since you're taking watches.
yeah,
No.
you can easily see a campfire in the woods, and it's not too hard to put 2 and 2 together.
Probably them, but I'll be stealthy going up on it anyway.
Sapphire's alarm just starts going. Woo! No, she probably would have allowed Rowan in.
So, we will jump back to the rest of the group. Who is taking watches and in what order?
Well, I'm probably still a little messed up from my mushrooms, so
Probably.
I'll volunteer for a later
Yeah, you should probably go late.
a later one, like 3 or 4.
You're in the best condition. You are likely the first that should be taking a watch.
Wow, I hate that you'd choose me for this task.
Oh, would you prefer death?
I'm in the
Wonderful.
best condition. Finnick looks fine too. Or are you just ignoring him because you don't like each other?
No.
It's because they don't like each other, I say as I'm falling asleep.
Would you like to take a watch with me, Finnick?
I don't know if we have enough people to share watches, but I will go first.
Oh, that's true. We don't. We're missing Rowan.
Mm-hmm. You do have Evelyn and Clifton.
No, they all need to sleep.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I can take first watch too. I just don't like that. I don't like being told what to do.
I'm fine. I want to look for Rowan. I'll keep an eye out.
Well, I'll take second shift then.
I'll follow the third.
I'll take it up in the end.
Yeah, you will.
Anyway,
Chat's in the rear.
Yep. So, are you Finnick?
Yeah.
So everyone goes to bed. Rosemary is sawing logs almost as loud as Clifton. Are you just hanging out by the fire, or are you actively searching like the nearby vicinity?
I would probably just be by the fire, looking at the things I found, and just watching.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and give me a perception check. And Rowan, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
18.
Only a 12. No, 17.
I mean, you beat it. So I will say at this point, you are hanging out by the fire, like, looking at your new toys, and you immediately hear, like, the slightest twitch of your ear that catches some rustling coming from the east where you guys came from. And you recognize the gate of Rowan. And you definitely would hear it before you'd see him. Even with your fire, like, he's in obscured forest. But you definitely would recognize, like, oh, that's probably Rowan.
I'm going to draw my bow and point beyond him.
Okay. So you approach what looks like a small encampment, and you immediately recognize Finnick pointing an arrow past you, maybe? But it's kind of hard to tell if it's at you or past you because of the distance.
Something behind me.
I don't know, is there?
Shouldn't be.
Oh.
You're yelling at each other at this point because you are nowhere near each other.
That's fine. Quiet yell.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, you guys are probably a good, like, 30, 40 feet from each other, so it's pretty hard to whisper, but you definitely can talk.
I'm just approaching casually.
So you approach the group. Did you guys leave the cauldron up? Or did
Yeah.
You? Okay. So you approach and you see the large cauldron that you previously found, with the lid next to it, still steaming, no longer on the fire. It seems to have some sort of liquid in it, and everyone seems to be asleep. Didn't seem to take much note of you guys, even though you were loud. No one woke up.
I will go over and, like, look inside the cauldron and then look at Finnick and be like, who made this?
She did.
She can cook?
She can add things to that. It does most of it.
Ah,
But don't let her know you know.
sure.
She's pretty proud of herself.
We'll let her have that one, I guess.
She deserves it some days.
Fair enough. I'll take a small bowl, because I've actually got my own utensils.
You do.
And I will go and sit next to Finnick and be like, I thought I was going to be in jail again.
I was afraid of the same thing. I'm glad to see you made it out, friend.
Yeah, it was quite a run. Tell you what.
If it's anyone going to be running, it's you.
That's fair. I see you found some new toys on your way out.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they do, but spoils are spoils.
And I will reach in my bag and pull out the 6 pouches and open them up. See what's inside.
Like a kid with their like stocking, you just shake it on the ground.
Yep.
Are you just dumping it?
No, I'm not dumping them. Like, I imagine they're in, like, pouch purses
Yes.
with the drawstrings and whatnot. I will let it, like, open up.
Josh still opens his stocking like that.
Hell yeah, I do.
Why wouldn't you?
I put one thing out at a time and admire it, and then set it down, and then pull the next thing out.
Why do you act like you're old? That is what old people
I
do.
like making people wait.
Oh my god.
She also takes the wrapping paper off, just like my dad. Like, does not rip it. Like, and I'm just like, fucking.
I know it bothers people, which is why I do it.
Oh, that's fair.
It's a gift for you and them.
Yeah.
So,
It's just full of wrapping paper. I'm gonna save it.
are you also taking out your pouches?
I will take out my pouch and be like, and I'll just go, just a pouch.
Are you, like, checking the contents of it? Okay. So, I will say, collectively, out of all 7 pouches you have, I believe, right? You find 160 platinum.
Oh!
You ready for the next?
Yeah.
2,400 gold.
How big are these fucking pouches?
They're large pouches.
Satchels.
All right.
Now let's see if these boys share with the rest of the party.
4,000 silver pieces. And 400 copper.
So, is that enough to kill you?
I don't know. I won't touch it.
You just see the silver and you hand it to her. Get rid of it.
4,000 silver? If it does 1 damage, you are, like, super dead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It just burned through my hand.
Oh, wasn't a bad haul.
No, this is a good night.
Yeah.
All things considered.
How much was it I owed you?
You already paid him.
I didn't pay him everything.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
You gave him like 500 gold at one
Yeah.
point.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Then I see no reason to split it up.
You can have these, and I'll just hand him any silver that.
Am I keeping the 4,000 silver?
Yeah, that's yours.
Okay.
I don't think I can have it.
Alright.
Does silver actually hurt you to touch? Is that...
I don't know. I feel like that's your choice.
I mean,
Maybe you just have an aversion to it.
Yeah, like, I just don't feel
even
like
if
I
it
would
doesn't.
like
Yeah,
it.
he just doesn't like it.
you definitely can.
Yeah, I feel like that's nice.
Well, we have enough pouches. I will split it up for everyone in the meeting. What?
Eric does not want you to split it.
No.
It's, you know what? It's for the best, and I'll hand him.
Do you want me to do the math for you?
No, I'll hand him all 400 of the copper. You can have it.
Oh.
Good. That's only like 1% of the silver I
No,
give
no,
you.
no. I'll be like, this is your nickname, right? That's what people can call you.
Oh my god.
Copper.
Oh, the boys are bonding.
I mean, I'm sure they have bonded since they've been together for a
Not-
Nobody has to
Wow.
know about the copper.
Not in the same
So
way that
nobody
Rowan
gets
and,
extra copper. You get all 400.
the bear.
It's equivalent to like what? 4 silver?
It was
4 gold.
4 gold. Yeah. I stole more from Sapphire on one night.
And then I'll also show Finnick the amulet that I got.
fist and the
Yeah. You ever seen anything like this?
I haven't, but it's...
Is it silver?
No, it's gold.
Oh, okay. It's
Looks punchy.
looks religious-y. I've never seen anything like it.
I mean, it doesn't have any like religious symbols or anything on it. It's literally just a fist.
Wow.
Just a fist, huh?
Literally just a 3D printed fist.
I don't ever use my phone.
I mean, I can look up if there's actually a picture of it.
No,
I just made some shit up.
cool. Can I take the amulet and like look at it and see if I know anything about it? With
Sure.
my
Like,
psychometry or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
See if it's like naughty.
oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I think it's a history.
So, were you going to give Split the silver, or are you keeping that all?
Oh, no, I'll split the rest of it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were disgusted too.
No.
17. The history.
Ooh,
17?
did that die?
Yeah.
It's coming back.
So with your history, you're looking at this amulet, and it doesn't seem to check any of the boxes that normally check if they're cursed or anything.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have any weird symbols or anything that look like it would be cursed. It doesn't give any negative energy or anything. Seems pretty good. Pretty okay.
Seems to check out. I don't think it's I think it's chat proof.
That seems interesting. I mean, doesn't really seem his thing. Maybe it is. I don't know.
He seems to be drawn to evil things.
That's fair.
One of the images I found is literally just a fist. I mean, I can't make that stuff up.
Rowan's got some bling.
So I will make some pouches for everybody. In the pouches, you guys can add the monies.
Wait.
Everybody will get, if you're ready.
No, I'm not ready.
No,
I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
Wait. Okay.
Everybody will get 32 platinum.
Oh. Sorry, go ahead. Keep talking. I'm just reading descriptions.
480 gold.
I'm not ready for I do not have the...
Oh, sorry.
I'm writing it down.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I've got it in my notebook too.
Okay.
And then the 4 of us will get 4,000 or 1,000 silver each.
What was
You get
that?
the 400 copper.
Someone died.
Still do not like that math? Really? What, right?
And then once I have the
I mean, I've given you like 40 gold.
I've also just stole gold from you. I was still also super poor when I met you guys. I had 5 gold when I met you.
Once I get them all figured out, I will take 2 platinum and put them in the purse I'm making for you. 2 extra platinum.
Sapphire will undoubtedly accidentally give you a lot of money.
That's perfect. He might just take it from you.
I'm gonna very quietly place the purses in everybody's belongings, like Secret Santa.
Are you giving any to the 3 NPCs? I just
Not right now.
Okay.
Maybe once we feel out the situation.
Totally fine. I got you.
I'm gonna go pass out now.
That's fine.
Okay, and I go do that.
Okay. For the sake of ease, we will say you guys take your watches. They go uneventfully. And you guys all wake up in the morning, fully rested, and we will take our next break because I have to pee.
This is Travis of Campaigns of the Plains. You may know me better as Chatsketsmusin of the D&D sessions, or Henrietta Kills 100 of our Monster of the Week game. Tune in every Friday for a new episode of our crazy adventures right here on the Campaigns of the Plains channel. Now, back to the game.
And we're back. So we will actually jump to Finnick investigating his items quick before we continue on. So you are looking at the sword, the shield, the figurine, and the necklace. That was all 4 of them, right?
Necklace.
And you
Yeah,
got
and
potion.
there's one portion. Yeah.
So the potion is very obviously a red, crimson healing potion of some sort. And it's a very standardized size, so you don't know if it's like a greater or superior or just a regular healing potion. But I will let you know when and if you choose to use it, what type of healing potion it is. Unless you want to do some arcane stuff to potentially learn more about it, that might be able to tell you its potency. Because there's no, as far as I know, there's no way to discern healing potions.
Probably besides doing like a identify.
Yeah.
There's really
Which
not.
we don't have.
Correct.
Because we're not magic people. Not really. We have some.
Trevor's magic.
Trevor is magic. So you have a healing potion of some sort.
Sapphire rolls her eyes in her sleep.
All of the items that you had otherwise, if you spend your hour trying to attune to any of them, they do not require attunement, from what you can tell. On further inspection, the necklace that you got, it's, let me see if there's a better description than just me making up. That's what I want. This necklace has some beads hanging from it. It's like a gold chain, and off of the chain there's several these individual chains that hang off that have these large red beads. It has 6 beads on it. They are like crimson red, but you're not sure exactly what it does necessarily. It definitely seems magical of some sort. And like the beads themselves are almost warm to the touch. Like they're not like burning or anything, but they definitely feel like they have some warmth to them. And then the figurine is a statue of the it looks like a dog of some sort, like a decent sized dog. I think like a chow or a mastiff, that type of size. But it's a small little figurine that can fit in your pocket. And you don't know necessarily what it does, but that's what you get. We'll figure out We'll figure out the weapon and then the shield later.
As I go to lay down to sleep, I'm going over to Clifton, but I'm going to put Clifton's body, like, in between me and where Sapphire would be able to see me.
Sapphire's in her tent.
Still, when you come out, like, I want Clifton's belly to obscure me.
So you go and cuddle up with Clifton, and he just reeks of the stew. Like, his entire body is just covered with this liquid as he...
His belly is like...
Yeah, it's very, very full. He has...
Make the best pillow.
He has several food babies.
Good.
It's almost like he swam in this liquid.
Good.
Cut to Sapphire telling him not to swim in the liquid.
So you manage to take your long rest. Like I said before, everyone does take their watches, but unless you want to do anything, they do all go on uneventfully. And you wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, but the sun is jarringly bright as you guys aren't obscured by anything anymore.
Are you like in the woods?
Mhm.
Oh, but yeah, gotcha.
But you're in a clearing, so
Yeah.
it's like there is some tree cover, but I mean, pretty quickly this sun is going to be directly above you. What would you guys like to do? As everyone's waking up groggily.
We have to go back there, don't we?
Where the fuck did all this money come from?
You would be the first one to notice.
And why is it in my hair bag? Where all my hairbrushes are.
Wait, what? You have a bag just for brushes.
Yes, I don't want the bristles to break. This is a very expensive hairbrush, Duke.
Yeah, but if you mix it with a bunch of others, isn't that just going to create the same
Well, it's
situation?
my hairbrush bag. It's just like, and some other hair except. Look, my hair gets tangled really easily because as I gestured to it floating around my head.
Seems
You really wouldn't understand as I gestured to your bald
Non hair.
Well, now that everyone's awake, I'm going to go poop. No one ever takes time in
an
fantasy
RPG to
settings to go take a poop. Everyone poops. So I decided it was important to write that one in.
Okay.
Everyone poops. You're right. There's
So-
a book written about it for children.
So you guys see Chats stand up, declare to everyone that he's going to go poop, and just wanders into the forest. I assume you announce it and then don't just shit yourself, so...
I march off into the woods to find a nice, place to pop a squat.
Give me a nature check.
He goes and poops every morning and he's never announced it so abruptly.
There's a tabaxi shit in the woods.
Nature.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
We all know he's doing
That
it
is
right. He's
20.
gone for a
I just want
while.
to know if he buries it.
Do you bury it?
Just the little...
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if there's a little dirt or sand,
Yes.
I'll kick it.
Yes,
Yeah.
there would be.
Leaves.
I was going to say, you do manage to find some leaves that are not poisonous to wipe your ass with.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else need to announce their bodily functions this morning?
I'm alright without announcing it. That's fine.
Good. So, we should come up with some kind of plan to go save Rowan, right?
Why?
I very sneakily,
Because
stand next to her and
he's-
I'm like, yeah, we should.
Oh, God! I slap you?
Dodge.
Roll an attack against his AC.
It's like a panic slap, you know?
It's just a...
Oh, no.
Yeah, so she just right above your head.
I didn't mean to attack you, Rowan. I didn't hit you, but and then I give you a really awkward hug.
Well, isn't that sweet?
I just was worried you would be dead, but you're
I
not
worried
dead.
about that quite a bit last night.
How did
as
you
well.
get small again?
I don't know. After a while, it just wore off.
It's good. You should contact your doctor really after 4 hours and it doesn't wear off.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. What's a doctor?
Like a cleric.
Oh, sure.
a healer, a medicine, man or woman or person.
Fair enough.
Not me.
Well, I contacted my god, and I think he
Gods
heard.
aren't healers. They give power
That's
to healers. Also, you contacted your god and you got small again, huh?
I prayed to him.
Yeah.
Why do you say contacted? It's like
I don't know. You like...
it's like I wrote a letter and sent it to
I don't
him
know. How
by
do you...
dove or something.
I mean, maybe. My mother contacted Cord in some weird ways, okay?
I don't want to know.
I don't want to tell you. It's uncomfortable.
She did a lot of it dead when she was with us.
Oh, yeah. Mother's always had a really strong bond with Cord. I don't...
Anyway,
She mentioned something about drinking buddies once.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird, but then again...
Did you all enjoy your nice presents?
Oh, is that where this is from?
Why
Thought
did you
I'd-
give me a sack of money?
Well, I thought
Hold
I
on,
lifted off
did
my
you
friends
just
in the cave.
stay there longer just to find money?
I was worried that you were dead and you stayed longer for money.
Did you think I was going to fit in the hole?
I can give you money if you need money, Rowan.
Why are you ignoring what I'm saying?
Oh, you couldn't fit in the hole because you were big. Yeah.
Be careful if you go 50 paces this direction. Oh,
Oh, hello, Jack.
Rowan!
Yes.
Hey, he's not dead.
We were gonna come and find you.
Well, now I'm here.
Well,
Rowan!
that's fortunate.
Did you have some soup?
I did. when
I
got
made
here.
soup.
I'm very proud of you.
I just did like what I see you do, which is to put the stuff in the pot and then put water in the pot and then put it on the hot stuff.
That's exactly what I do. Good.
And then carrots magically appeared in there.
I look over at Finnick just for a second, and I just kind of like,
Because it's a
Yeah.
magic pot, Rowan.
that's fair.
Okay.
Okay. Good job. It was good.
Do I believe that this is really Rowan?
Roll an insight check.
See me Rowan.
Are you feeling better, Chad? Was your stomach upset this morning?
Fuck.
What'd you roll?
I believe it no matter what.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Why are you staring at me?
He missed you.
I'm very concerned.
I heard him crying in the tent when he thought everyone was asleep. He was really worried that you would die. It's okay, Duke. It is okay to miss your friends.
What? I'm actually
Did you use all
confused
the
now.
mushrooms?
Yes.
Oh.
To try and cook, yes.
I think
Well,
I'm feeling better.
All the ones that you had.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this cookbook is hard to read and I couldn't figure it out. So
I take it. Is it written in common or is
Yeah,
it?
it's written in common.
it
Yeah.
was really, really not informative. It didn't tell me to add the water in the pot before adding the
This is
mushrooms.
my first time looking at this book, so I open it up, and the only thing in there is the hardtack, and it literally just says
Yeah,
how
well,
to make the hardtack.
yeah, it literally, like, you can definitely tell that this book is meant to be used to write new recipes in, but there is only currently one recipe in it. So basically how the recipe book works is, you can find potentially, different types of recipes either by, talking to people saying like, do you have anything that you make at this tavern or whatever? And depending on what you find or what you want to find or whatever, I have a whole list of recipes for you to find.
Sure.
So,
But I'm looking at this recipe, and it's literally a hardtack, and
Yes.
Well, the
so it said
mushrooms-
it was hard to read.
Well,
Yeah.
so the
yeah, this is like
mushrooms...
very, very easy. This is like
It didn't
sort of-
explain to put the water in the pot before putting in the mushrooms. It also
Darling,
didn't suggest
I don't
to
think-
use psychedelic mushrooms, and Chats might have gotten a little high last night.
Hang on, but what mushrooms?
The black ones you told us not to eat. I missed you so much, Rowan.
I grabbed the pot and I grabbed the book and I
Oh,
look
here,
at you and I
put-
say,
push-
I don't think that these two things are mutually like.
If you take the pot and you touch, and I show him where to touch on the glyphs, it'll get to be fun-sized again.
That is very handy.
Because it's a magic
It's
pot.
obviously not cursed since you used it.
Might be cursed.
Why?
Chats has never announced loudly he needed to poop in the morning, so...
Yes, that is something new. Thank you.
Well, the only different thing about that is that he ate the mushrooms by themselves beforehand.
He didn't even eat
I
them, he
licked
just
them.
licked it.
He licked the mushrooms
Sometimes
beforehand.
that's just enough.
Just the tip.
Well, now that we have Rowan back, and we don't have to go back in that cave, what's our next step?
Well, we may have to go back there.
It's definitely a problem that probably needs to be dealt with. I have a feeling that eventually they're going to try to take the whole town.
Oh, they are.
Would.
And then they're going to go for Swing Mountain afterwards.
Another terrible thing.
They want to sacrifice them all to an elder god. Did you not hear that conversation yesterday?
I was unconscious.
Oh, right.
Yeah, no, I think we all were.
I know, I explained it to you, though. But what's his name? I don't remember. The guy who I talked to. He said, yeah, Varric? Yeah. He said that he was, there was some, I don't know if it's an elder god per se, but some higher being. An old one. He called it an old one. That's what he called it. And they're sacrificing people to it to satisfy the old one. And I asked him, how many people do you need to sacrifice? And he said he wasn't given a number, so they were just going to keep going.
Okay, that's...
And the plan was the town.
Unsettling.
And then Snoring Mountain.
Also unsettling.
I asked him if he was working with the were creatures on how he was getting his people.
Somehow I don't think.
No, he wasn't.
We could try and collapse the caves.
There are a lot of people in there.
Well, yes, and many of them are not in good shape.
So you're saying just that's it? That's the end of their journey?
On the way out, I saw him being ushered into some kind of portal.
That's probably going to the old one. Oh, he did say that he's not sure what the old one wants to actually use the people for. The options he gave me were cannon fodder, slaves. There was another one.
Well, it seemed like more of the tiny yelly creatures came out after.
Maybe they're turning the people into those things.
No?
I don't know how magic works, but that's potentially a thing that magic can do, right?
Let's have some breakfast and then we'll decide our plan.
You're cooking, right?
Yes, I would like you two to go out and...
But the pot does it for you.
You need ingredients for the pot, dear.
You don't. I just put water in it and it made a full venison stew.
Yeah. It was... She burned the mushrooms and then added water.
Well, that was
and made a
after
stew.
Chad's burnt a ration. And then...
So it sounds like there still needs to be something put in the pot.
Yeah, water.
As well as water.
Oh, yes. I wonder.
Oh, yes! Duke, do it!
I pop the honey.
Okay.
And I pour honey in.
Is it honey?
So you hear the glug, 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 glug of the honey being poured in. Are you putting it, currently it's shrunk, so...
Oh, yeah, get bigger. Come on. Big.
Okay, so you grow it.
Get on fire.
It's a gallon of honey.
Okay, so you dump a gallon of honey into this cauldron, and you can smell it start to bubbling, because it's over the fire. Are you doing anything with it?
Oh, right. Okay, yesterday they advised that I shouldn't use a dirty stick to stir it with, so...
I pull out a ladle from my cooking supplies.
Perfect. Give me that. And then I start stirring it. Does it do anything?
Let me double check.
Come on, give me honey soup.
Knowing how to cook, I'm not putting... I like what you've done with the one Y pole here, and I pull out all my cooking utensils,
right?
And I actually pull out one of the Y crosses with the beam across, so it can actually sit above the fire.
Aren't you fancy?
You've seen it before.
I'll pay attention to what you do.
I know you don't.
I mean, I kind of do because I made soup. Well, the pot did the most work. But...
Are you adding anything else to the cauldron other than the honey?
Okay, yesterday I added stuff and it worked, so...
Toss some shit in there, see what happens.
Yeah, I pull out a piece of that weird fruit fat brick that Rowan made and toss it in there.
Pemmican?
Sure.
Honey and pemmican.
I still got some rabbit jerky. I throw that in there too.
Stop just throwing random things in a pot! Christ.
Well, you never know. This could be something magnificent.
It's like in Breath of the Wild where you just throw the things in the cooking pots and
I'm gonna pour a little water on top of it.
You've got to thin it out a little, yeah.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. Wait, do you have any fruit? Like an apple?
There's fruit in the pemmican.
No.
Oh, that's right, there's fruit and pemmican. Perfect! I start stirring it.
Go ahead and... So, are you making this, or are you making this?
I look at all the shit that's been put into the pot, I grab the ladle, and I start stirring.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck is going on
Go
here.
ahead and give me
Nobody knows.
Intelligence check.
Not one of us understands.
Just an
That's the beauty.
intelligence
I mean, use your cooking utensils, which I think you're proficient with.
Yes.
So, go ahead and add your proficiency.
So 15?
Okay, so you start... Let me double check. You start mixing this stuff together, and it doesn't seem to be making anything new. It seems to be literally just honey and the pemmican and a little bit of water. It doesn't seem to be like doing what it did previously and just...
That's not what it did
I
last
didn't
time.
see it, so...
That's not what it did last time. Last time the carrots started popping out like little rabbits or something.
Yeah.
Or like moles picking their head up out of the ground.
You can definitely...
Did you really make this last night?
You can definitely tell that it's not reacting magically in any way. Like, it's very just... You're just stirring a concoction of some sort that is hot. And I mean, depending on how long you let it sit there, it's going to eventually start to burn.
Okay, this didn't do what that last time, right? You saw it. It didn't do this last time. Maybe it doesn't work all the time.
Well, also, we are doing something incredibly different.
That's true. Maybe... You know what, Rowan? You just do it. You make something. What do you want me to go get?
What am I going to do with all this honey?
I point to...
honey. Hot, watery honey.
Hot, watery honey.
Hot, watery honey.
Just give it to Clifton. He'll eat it.
I just point to Clifton.
You probably would love it.
It is honey. You know
I
what?
feel that. Are you making mead? Like you're just like warming up honey? How do you make
think
mead?
that's
Isn't
how
it
mead
like
You have to ferment it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
maybe
takes
that-
a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, put it in a jar.
Yeah, I will pour it into several bowls so Clifton can have his way with them.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
think you want to just pour that in a jar. That's how you get botulism.
Yeah, right? So you pour this out into several buckets, bowls, whatever you want to call it, for Clifton to just annihilate.
Yeah, sure.
Rosemary would also try and eat some of it again because she's so what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say hungry, like
Emaciated.
thank you. Yes, that's what I was
I
looking for.
just go up to her and I go, "No, Rosemary, I told you yesterday."
Like, she's not inhaling it this time. She's definitely trying to eat it, just because she's
No,
hungry.
you probably shouldn't. That's probably not good for you.
I tear off a piece of pemmican and I give it to her just until I can get something going. Just
So she tries to eat the honey. You stop her. She does eat the pemmican.
Okay, what do you want me to go get in the woods?
just try to get me some kind of animal, some kind of meat.
Oh, you want me to go hunting?
Yes.
Should I punch it?
You can. I'd like to see that in person, actually.
I'm gonna go punch a deer. Vinnick, are you ready?
Please don't. I know you've got a real soft fist.
Take offense to that.
Them is fighting words.
It'll be a quick fight.
It will be.
Still fighting words.
You can catch me. I can catch you. We can catch each other because I teleport and you're fast.
This is the weirdest flirting I have ever heard.
What? It's not.
Oh no, it definitely
Go get
is.
meat.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm going
And-
hunting. Yeah. What else?
Would you care to go grab us maybe some nuts, some roots, whatever you can find?
Yeah. Grab his nuts.
Grab those nuts.
This is
Bye, you
grand.
two.
Absolutely grand.
I'm tired.
I put a little bit of water in and wash the cauldron.
So as you put this water in and wash the cauldron, it immediately starts to fill with just gallons and gallons and gallons of this brothy substance that eventually starts to, you can see, boil, and several potatoes and carrots and meat just start to float to the top.
Before they leave, I go, never mind.
Well, that's interesting.
It's gonna get old fast.
What? Never mind what.
It's just water.
Oh, water works. Well, we were hoping that other liquids would work. And we knew the water
I
worked.
wanted to see what other liquids would do.
Mhm.
Well, honey's not a liquid.
Maybe we should try wine
How
next
is
time.
honey not a liquid?
It isn't. It's just like bee vomit.
Which is solid.
Anyway,
Let's try wine next time, Duke.
I start
Well, the berry.
pouring out bowls for Rosemary and everybody else.
And everyone eagerly, other than you, the NPCs eagerly eat said porridge, as, stew, whatever, liquid that is in the cauldron.
Sure.
I wonder if you could teach it to make different kinds of stew. Maybe some, chicken.
How do you do that? You just talk to it?
I don't know, Duke. I don't understand magical items. I'm just questioning. Perhaps you can.
Speaking of, I think I have something for you. Maybe a bit better than a torch. And I pull the drift globe out, and while we're eating, I quickly teach Duke how to...
Grunt in the appropriate mannerism.
Yes.
You just say,
That's the key word.
Keyword is Ireland.
So, yeah, as you say, it springs to life as it starts to glow. It's not as bright as it was down in the
Down under.
in the caverns, as it's currently bright. So, it does let off some bright light, and it just hovers there right next to him as you poke it, it stays poked. It doesn't move. It's stuck there. It does seem to give a little bit, but it's pretty stationary.
I seem to think that it might work best for you. We can't always have Sapphire feeding carrots.
Carrots are good for you.
Why not, though?
It kind of uses up her resources.
It does. I only have so
But
many carrots per day.
Me being able to see like that without giving away with a light source
Maybe we shouldn't
is
do the
always
carrot-
an advantageous.
I gave him...
It's true, but this can't be extinguished by water, from what I can tell. So, if you ever find yourself underwater, you can see a little better.
Yeah, it's hard to eat carrots underwater. Unless you don't.
You shall eat carrots anywhere!
You would be surprised.
But it's yours. It'll probably do...
Does it move?
It follows you. I accidentally turned it on in the dungeon. Nearly gave myself away. Don't do that.
Don't accidentally turn it on. Sounds good.
I don't think Duke goes around grunting in his everyday life, whatever that was that you did.
Yeah, I don't think that's a thing someone... I guess you must have accidentally said it?
Well, I had to find a place to hide, and that was the only thing I had to do for a couple of hours, so... Yeah, I played with it.
Do you often play?
Stare into
Do you
that
often
camera?
play with it when you get bored, Rowan?
Why not? What else are you gonna do to pass the time?
Right. Well...
This whole session has just been...
One big
Innuendo, I love it.
Do we...
Anyway,
so
it's
you
yours.
want to collapse... Thank you, by the way. You want to collapse this cave and kill everyone inside.
But also prevent the beasties from getting out.
I don't think it'll stop them for very long.
Yes.
And then... But what... We went there to try and get people that could help. While you were down there, did you happen to look around and see anyone else that...
Well, I tried to find... And I'll look at Rosemary and I'll say I tried to find Uncle and it's the only thing I found. I'll show her the ring.
And as you do, she looks at it and starts to just enamor with it, just staring at it and almost not believing that it's there in her hands. And she says, "This was definitely his. There's no way. Where did you find this?"
It was in one of the cells down there.
Well, Explains where he went, I guess. I don't know what to do.
Rosemary, how long have people been disappearing from town?
I have no idea. I mean, I heard tale of a month ago or so that I didn't hear back from my father, so I came to look, but the journey is quite a ways from the lawn.
Did anyone try and lead you to those caves?
You can see, like, she's trying to access that memory of how she got there, and it's almost like she keeps drawing a blank. Like, she tries and tries and tries, and it's just nothing seems to come back. And she's like, well, I don't know. I do know. I heard of a group. Wow, what was their name? The restrain, the constrict, and she looks at the chain hanging off your neck, and she says, the chained, and you can see she's struggling to try and remember, and eventually, an aha moment comes over her face and says, the chained uprising? Yeah, that's it. The chained uprising. Yes, that's... And she, as soon as she says that, she immediately, like, takes purchase of her surroundings, and she's like, oh, I mean... And she kind of lowers her voice significantly. The chained uprising.
Okay, so you've said it a few times now,
Yeah.
but I don't know what that means. So, what is that?
I learned of a rebellion that was somewhere from the mountain. I thought that maybe they had captured my dad, but from the intel I got, that they weren't interested in capturing people. They were just trying to facilitate a coup of Dominic.
Do you know where we can find them?
I know that they were based in Shaggy Paw somewhere, but I don't know where.
Do you know where the Fleetwood Market is?
That doesn't sound familiar. What is that?
These two, and I point to Sapphire and Finnick, found a message in Shaggy Paw when they investigated.
If I had to guess, if the rebellion's in Shaggy Paw, we saw in Shaggy Paw that message, perhaps the Fleetwood Market's somewhere in Shaggy Paw.
Perhaps.
I think
no market I've ever heard of.
Hi, ma'am. Well, it's been 200 years since you've been there.
Yeah, no.
Usually too shy to come see it. Sounds like we need to go to Shaggy Paw. Although, do we leave this whole mess with the old ones, unturned? What do we do
What are we going to do about it? I mean...
I don't fucking know.
Well, we were led here by a imposter. I assume that's how they're getting people here, is they're leading them on some sort of Pied Piper. We could stake out these tunnels and wait for this imposter to come again with more victims and catch them in the act and maybe use them somehow as leverage or get more information, something we can use to maybe defeat these foes.
I would like to smack about the person who is pretended to be Rosemary.
We also now have a second way in, so long as they don't block it, and it's less treacherous than the way that we came in. So, we have a way in, and we know that there is an imposter out there that's copying...
Do we deal with this group, this, whatever this is now, or do we try and find allies in Shaggy Paw to help with... I mean, this seems like a really bad thing. I mean, they're talking about old...
There's so many bad things going on right now, I don't even know where to start.
Right?
We have a dictatorship on the mountain and in the town.
Wow.
We have cultists in the mountain, this other mountain, trying to raise some supernatural being
Don't forget the achy crap in the forest.
Ah, yes, and the zombies
That too.
that are marching on the forest. What about that tree we were in? Do you think this is connected with that somehow?
Oh,
There was some strange
Oh,
cult
when
things
I
going down
when
there.
I spoke with my what's his name, Varric. When I spoke with Varric, he said that it was something entirely different.
He could be lying.
He seemed honest. He actually seemed like he had no reason to lie to me at all, because he was planning on sacrificing me to an old one.
I just don't understand.
Hard to argue that logic, actually.
I don't know where to start with all this.
How about we do this? What's the biggest threat right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, for me, it's being caught.
What is the most achievable thing we can do right now?
Oh boy. Well,
I think, personally, if there is a secret group of people looking to start a rebellion, we should find them.
well, yes. That was
Because
part
if
of
we have-
our goal going down there.
Yes, and if we have allies, then all the other hard tasks get a little bit easier.
That's a fair point.
That's what my suggestion is. But I will go and murder whoever I need to murder.
Wow, okay. Let's take a step back. It's great you're catching on.
Catching on to what? I've always been willing to murder whoever you ask me to, dude.
No, never mind. Okay, so we go down there and try and rescue anyone that is part of this rebellion.
It might not be a bad idea to try to rescue as many people as we can quickly and return them to...
I'm so weak, though. How are we going to get them out before those monstrosities overcome us?
The way in, we can sneak in and out regularly. Are you able to do the same that you've done for us? Give them at least a boost to get them out.
What do you mean?
Once we get...
Like a heal?
whatever
Health?
These
people aren't...
healing or restoration. We don't need a lot. You don't need to heal them to perfection. Just enough so that we can get them out. Because once we get them out, then we can take...
I don't think that they're injured as much as they're being starved. They're weak. I can't recover that weakness with magic. I mean, it can be done, but not by me. I don't have that kind of power.
It doesn't. I agree with her. I don't think a heal will do much.
I was able to get you guys back to fighting shape because, well, quite frankly, we're all used to being within an inch of our lives anyway, so...
And
that's just another day for me, really.
For most of
been
us.
eating well, and
some of them have been down there for who knows how long.
Well,
Rosemary said she was down there for... Her name's Rosemary, right? Rosemary said she was down there for 8 days. And I doubt that they fed... Rosemary, did they feed you at all?
She is still halfway through eating the bowl of honey that you told her not to eat.
Hey, don't eat that. There's more soup. That's going to make your tummy upset.
it's probably just enough to keep them alive so that they'll survive long enough for them to sacrifice them. So, likely not very much, no matter what the case be. So...
She reverberates that. They gave us very little water, and we mostly just ate rats and whatever kind of came close. They didn't give us much.
You know what I've always found strange about these cults? I feel like if you are some sort of greater being that wants people sacrificed, you'd want good, strong people sacrificed for you because it would mean that you get more energy. No, they always seem to sacrifice weak.
How
And
often have you
destroy
come
people.
across cults up for sacrificing?
you'd be surprised.
It has happened, but, you know, there's also a lot of stories about them. I mean, people do document these things.
I mean, another question is, actually, I don't know if you told us about the portal, right? What's on the other side of the portal?
If I got close enough, I could probably tell you.
And is it somewhere we need to go?
I wouldn't, because that's where the old one probably is.
Going through the portal. Sounds exciting, actually.
No.
That's
It's
also not our first time.
It's not my first time either, and I don't want to do it. How about that? That seems like a really bad idea.
That sounds like a title for this episode.
I don't want to do it.
No, it's not my first time
and I
either.
don't want to do it.
Listen, it's easy to jump through a portal and to go to God knows where. It's not as easy getting back, Duke. You know that. Kind of. You want to be stuck in Barovia hell for 3 more months?
Oh my god, that would be so mean. You jump through a portal. Guess what? You're in Barovia again, guys.
Kill Strahd! No!
Strahd.
Oh my god.
Never mind, you can keep it.
That would be so
Fuck
funny.
this mountain. Find some TNT. Let's level this bitch.
Well,
I'm just saying, time flows differently in some planes. I mean, you could be there for... I mean, Chats knows that.
Yeah, we're all aware.
In any case, I think we should do what we can to
Yes.
free a few of the folk.
I mean, we can try our best to sneak down there, get the cages open, get people out before they notice. But eventually they're going to notice we're doing that and have more guards down there. So we
That's
really
okay.
only have one shot
We
to get
are
as many
much-
people as we can
What
and then
we
not
do
go back again.
is...
We are much healthier this time.
Or we go in there with
Also
the
true.
intention to kill them and hope that we actually can.
Well, that's... What we can do is have the stealthiest and the fastest of you go in to acquire them, and then...
We're all pretty stealthy. Not all so fast.
I mean, the
Probably
likely...
these two.
Well, the 3 of you are quite fast, and you can be really quiet. You would be able to quickly move through and unlock as many of these gates as possible, I suppose. I mean, we can do it fast, and as far as getting the locks open, if you all wish to try and pick the locks, or we do have a way of getting more acid.
The quiet approach is probably the better approach.
Or you can just blow the shit out of everything, just axe the hell out of it, move on.
So Duke's not going on the mission.
Just giving you an option if
Well,
you wish.
I
What?
believe he is going on a mission, as are you, because we will need someone to drag those very emaciated bodies out.
Those of you who are fast can open them and
Yes.
let them out, and those of us, well, you and me, I guess at this point, would be able to try and help guide them away.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like we're jumping back in the fire.
So, as you guys...
That's where we live.
Is there anything we should prepare for before we go back? Like things we should find a way to obtain? I know. We should potentially wait one more day.
Okay,
One day more.
so
I flash you my new ring. This stores spells that I can cast later. It's got 1 spell in it. I don't know what it does, but I can store a bunch of healing spells in there.
The longer we wait, the more people go through that portal.
but did you see how many while you were down there went through?
We're just a couple.
Yep, from the split second that you kind of ran by, you only saw a couple.
And about how many are still in cages.
I mean, at least a dozen or more. I mean, it's hard to ascertain an exact number without specifically investigating
Mhm.
and, like, taking all the blankets off and, like, picking through the bodies that maybe aren't alive anymore.
How many spells can you store?
4?
I don't know, what does it say?
It's
5 levels?
a total of 5 levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, 1 5th level spell, but it's currently taken up, so it's 1 4th level spell.
Or 4 level
Correct.
ones. Okay, cool. So,
I think we should go as quickly as possible.
yes.
So as you guys plan for the upcoming day, that's when we will end it for tonight. Woo!